Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Alpha X Series Special number 5. Excuse me. Here we have a fantastic lineup for you guys today. But before we get into that, let me go ahead and introduce ourselves. I am your caster Snoopy, and joining with me is none other than Acontistes.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I'm really glad I'm able to be here today, and thank you, Snoopy, for having me.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. All right, here we're about to start game number 1. But as you can see in the bracket here, we do have the second semifinal starting first. Oh, actually, you know what? We're starting with the first one. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start off with a Zound versus Hurricane, and then follow up with a Ragnarok versus Special. Now this is the semifinal, so it will be a best of 5. And then the finals, of course, will be a best of 7.
Yeah, just wishing luck to the players real quick. We're gonna start it out on Eternal Empire. We already have our first map for today ready. And yeah, no real better way to start it out than this map, to be honest.
Yeah, Eternal Empire is one of the, I guess, the kind of the more popular maps out there. I mean, especially since it's been played since last season, so everyone is pretty much comfortable with it. It's familiar. It's not any. It doesn't, balance tips towards a certain race. I think it's pretty balanced map.
Yeah, and yeah, we're also starting off with Protoss versus Protoss, which is quite a weird matchup. So starting it off on a bit of a more defensible, bigger map. I feel like it's always the best way to start it off with this matchup, really.
Yeah, I feel like not a lot of people used to be fans of it. Although with the little shoe battery change, I feel like it's gotten better. There's a lot less all-ins. So let's see if these players can give us some great games here. Let's get started. All right.
Shall I start it off with the introductions?
Sure.
Well, it is my pleasure here in the bottom left hand corner to introduce to you guys the Red Protoss player. Hailing from Korea, this is Hurricane.
And spawning here at the top right, we have our blue Protoss player. Representing the team of Alpha X, he is Zound.
Very interested to see how these two players will approach the first few minutes. Of course, the never-ending dilemma, right, between double adept, double stalker, stalker sentry. But that really, I feel like it's really important with what are the first 2 units to start it off. So I'm always very interested. Like, it kind of sets up the mood of the series between the two players. One of them is going to be the aggressor, the other is going to be playing a little bit more defensive. So we will see.
Yeah, I mean, especially in PvP, there's a lot of different varieties of openings. Of course, we got the kind of the original cannon rushes, but we also got the more common 2-gate openings. But then after that, it could really deviate to anything. It could be a double adept opening, it could be a double stalker, it could be a stalker and a sentry, and then after that it could also branch out to Stargate, to Robo, or to Twilight Tech. So I mean, sometimes in PvP it does come down to build order wins sometimes. But we do see a little proxy here by Zound. It's going to be a proxy Stargate. What do you think about this?
Well, I feel like Hurricane will actually notice, since there is no second pylon in the main of Zound. So I'm expecting a shield battery in the main for Hurricane to kind of minimize the damage, but it's still going to be like a little bit of a blind counter, because he doesn't really know if it's going to be some robo play or a Stargate. It is a very hard to spot. Very hard to spot. Sorry about the joke of words. But with this Oracle starting off, Hurricane looks like it's looking for it, but it's not gonna be easy for him to actually preempt any damage from this Oracle.
Yeah, I mean, he's scouting. He's trying to scout for it, but the proxy Stargate is all the way on Zound side of the base. He's going to play it safe, going to throw down the Robo, which, unfortunately for him, I think on paper, Stargate is better against Robo, so I don't think he's taking the correct tech choice. But I mean, when you're scouting and you don't see anything yet, I mean, you got to play it safe and place a Robo, right?
I really feel like Hurricane was expecting a Robo here. This Oracle will come in the main with nothing to counter. The Stalkers are out of position. Here comes the Adepts as well. Already 5 probes going down. The first sentry will also go down. Also the second. That's already so much damage. It's the 2 Adepts and the Oracle against so many probes. I feel like Hurricane has already lost this game. 2 Adepts in the main and an Oracle. Oh, color me impressed. Zound. 12 probes down and 2 sentries for the price of just 2 Adepts.
Yeah, and that Oracle also survived, so he can join up with a second Oracle if he wants to and snipe some additional pros. But sending some additional Adept. Now Hurricane does have his second base, it's natural, but can't really mine from it with the 2 Adept harassing it. So all of a sudden, we see Zound with a 26 to 18 supply or worker lead. And also finishing up his natural base.
There is a Warp Prism going through the map for Hurricane, but with the first Phoenix coming for Zound and the 3 Stalkers already looking for it. Yeah, this is not looking good for Hurricane.
Oh.
Warp Prism. This is crazy bad for Hurricane. Finds himself in a very awful spot. And just gets killed immediately. Oh well.
When so many
Welcome to PvP, guys.
I know, right? When so many horrible things happen to you, I mean, you know, losing a Warp Prism is like the final straw. It's like, GG, I'm out of here.
There was one saving grace for him, is having that early robot, trying to do something maybe on the other side of the map, but then even the Warp Prism was gone. And there was really no way to, like, work from behind on his own side of the map. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We do see Slayer SE2 in the chat saying, giving some love to Alpha X. Appreciate you joining in, tuning in. Also, guys, if you do like the content of Alpha X, we're going to be streaming a lot of content here on this channel, so make sure to give the channel a follow. We definitely appreciate all the follows we can get.
Of course, and players will appreciate even more if you go into that match arena and drop down our code to increase the prize pool for free. So make sure to use a little bit of your time, like 20 seconds or so, to help the players as well. There's money on the line, guys, so these players surely are quite as hyped as us to start our next map. We're going on Death Aura for game number 2 of this first series.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if Hurricane is eager to get his or redeem himself from the last game, because that last game was rather ugly. It was Zound pretty much the whole game. All right,
not the longest game ever as well.
All right,
so
let's go ahead and introduce our lovely players.
Here in the top left-hand corner, leading the series 1-0, spawning as the blue Protoss. Playing for Alpha X, hailing from Korea, it is Zound.
And spawning here at the bottom right, we have Red Protoss looking to tie up the series. Can he do it? It is Hurricane. All right, so Death Aura.
Very early. Wait a second.
Oh yeah, I think I mean, this map is notorious for cannon rushes just because of the layout of the map. So I think he just wants to do an early scout, make sure he's not getting cannon rushed.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. For a minute I was thinking like he was going to fake it, to try and deny some mining. In the end, it was, as you were saying, just a safety measure.
Yeah, we do see some Protosses. They kind of patrol their probe at the bottom here area of the ramp.
Or was it safety?
Yeah. But yeah, Zound choosing to do the early scout. Now does
It
oh
does drop a pylon in the middle of the map, but
yeah, I feel like this pylon is on my actually you know what? Yeah, I guess you could throw down the building on the other side if it's a Stargate. I was about to say if it was a robo, I think it should have been the other way around where the pylon is behind the other on the other side of the rock and then the robo closer to your opponent. But with a Stargate, it's safer to place it behind the rocks.
it makes a lot of sense. Also, if your game broke, don't fix it, which is something I do like from Zound. Scouting over here is even harder, even though it's one of the most used spots. Yeah, okay, I reckon we'll immediately scout it. This time it won't be as deadly as it was in game 1. It's still going to be a little bit hard to defend. Without a natural going up for Hurricane and a shield battery going up immediately in the main though, things are bound to be a little bit different this time.
Yeah, getting that early scout that lets him know that, you know, I shouldn't probably throw down a robo. I could throw down a Twilight Council to help better defend against these oracles. But before he can worry about those oracles, you gotta worry about these adepts.
This time there is a probe on the ramp to drop down a structure before these adepts can get through. And I'm actually curious to know if Zound actually saw that one probe scouting his target, because I don't think he did. I think the probe was slightly out of range. Now, of course, he knows he has been scouted. There is one chrono boost going on top of the Oracle. The Oracle will come out in time out of this target, but I don't think anything less. Oh, will it though? Oh my god, it's gonna be so close and it's gonna be denied.
Oh man.
Oh.
I wish it.
Only one Oracle out.
Yeah, I think he really would have wanted the second one. I think the second one would have allowed him to snipe the probes, even though he has a shield battery, as well as throw some Revelation or Stasis Ward. But here we go. Looks like he's going to try to attempt it. Oh, this Oracle is so close to death.
Yeah, of course, it's not gonna be even close to game 1 in terms of damage. It looks like Zound is repowering this target. He wants to keep on using it, but Hurricane, Dark Shrine here in the top side of the map. Very interesting.
Yeah, now, you know, Dark Shrine play against Stargate play used to be really good. However, they made a little bit of change to the Oracle where, although the Revelation does not last as long, they cost less energy, so you can cast more Revelations. So it really helps against DT, DTs if the opponent decides to go for it. But it looks like he's actually parking his oracles across the map, trying to get some additional probe damage, and this could be pretty disastrous because the DTs are going to come out soon.
Yeah, these Stalkers also in a pretty good spot to defend against the Oracles. A Revelation being dropped in the main and one in the natural will actually make Zound acknowledge that this is no place for his Oracles to be. He will not commit too hard onto it. And there's one more pylon on the map for Zound, with his own gateway being actually proxied over here. But he desperately needs some measures to defend against these Dark Templars back home. Otherwise, damage will go through the roof, really.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably gonna have to immediately recall these Oracle.
Yeah. Oh. He sees the Glimmer, will immediately actually block the ramp. And one Revelation goes on the first Dark Templar, will go down. The second Dark Templar will also be revelated by the Oracles. And one Blink forward will actually try to take it down. It's not gonna be easy. The Dark Templar is still exposed, will go down. Only 3 probes actually. This is not crazy good for Zound. Pause. Comes down. Oh, there are not great problems for our blue Protoss.
Hopefully it's not too bad. Alright, looks like it's a quick delay here, or a quick pause. So nothing too bad here in terms of ping.
Maybe just a sip of water, you know, something like that.
I mean, when you defend against those dark Templars this early in the game, I mean, you deserve a drink of water.
Maybe like he's wiping the sweat out of his forehead. Like, something like
I mean, Dark Templars can definitely make you sweat.
Yeah, and your proxy being scouted also isn't like the best possible thing that could happen to you. And this has already happened twice. First down. I just want to check the Stalker count, which is in favor of Zound right now, but there is one Immortal out.
Oh, you might get caught off in the middle here.
This lean forward from Zound is a very brave one. The Stalkers are trying to get on top of the Immortal. Here comes the Oracles. Immortal down, and this is already so much damage. One of the Oracles will go down as well. This third base will be the focus for the time being. First down. Since the rest of the army of Hurricane is coming, no more damage can be issued. The blink forward from Hurricane will actually grant him the upper end in his engagement. Sentry will go down, as well as a bunch of Stalkers for Zound as well. And right now, it's all about the tech. And Hurricane has a big advantage in that.
Yeah, I mean, defending... Oh, but we do see the Oracle doing a Stasis Ward in the main base. Was not paying attention. Wasn't able to pull his probes out.
These are 15 probes, by the way. No, 14 probes, sorry.
Yeah, and we do see how the income graph just spiked significantly for Zound with that Stasis Ward.
Oh, another Dark Templar. This time the Observer will be in position. Very good force field coming out of Zound. Only one probe will go down. But in the end, Hurricane has the upper end. 2 Immortals against none. And this target, unpowered, will not grant Zound any Phoenixes to actually deal with these Immortals by lifting them.
I gotta say, I've been pretty impressed by how Zound has defended the Dark Templars. Just because if that was me, I would probably lose a bunch of probes by now.
I would probably have lost the game. Like, I'm not very good at this matchup for this reason. But I feel like this move forward is a little bit too brave coming from Zound. Of course, he's gonna have the +1 before his opponent. But there are 2 Immortals already out. There are 2 Dark Templars ready to go into his main as well. Yeah, Zound is not in a great spot. Probes are falling left and right in his main, and the main engagement starts in the next row of Hurricane. Force fields going left and right. It looks like the upper end will be in favor of Zound, but these 2 Zealots will be trapped. Meanwhile, in the main, these Dark Templars are still destroying probes, but the shield battery overcharge is gonna grant Hurricane some more time to actually do something. Another Stasis Ward has gone down in the main of Hurricane. But this fight is not gonna be easy for Zound. The good force field will lock these Immortals out of the main of Hurricane. But as you can see, Zound forced to recall off his army. And losing these many probes, losing this much army, this doesn't bode well for the Blue Protoss.
Yeah, that was a pretty risky play there by Zound. Creative, but it just wasn't... He just didn't have the numbers, right? So now Hurricane is going to enjoy a 118-94 supply lead. And he's even adding disruptors in. So that's going to make his army more deadly.
And already the 2 Immortals being way stronger than these Stalkers could ever be was enough. But now with this Disruptor being in the main army, another one coming, it really doesn't bode well for Zound. Not enough numbers, not enough tech. This is going to be a GG soon, I feel.
Yeah, it's not looking quite well. I mean, look at the army just at first glance. This army of Zound is just very puny.
Yeah, there is one shield battery over here. Shield battery overcharge gets issued. The Immortals will be fighting these Zealots, but one good Disruption Nova will get so many Stalkers. Meanwhile, the rest of the army of Hurricane is actually being stasis warded by these Oracle. These Immortals are still dealing way too much damage though. 6 kills on one, 0 on the other. The one with 0 kills goes down. The other goes down as well. Defender's advantage is kicking in. No blink. Actually, there is blink for these Stalkers. Dodging one Disruption Nova, the other will get only 2 Stalkers. These Stasis Ward has done so much in favor of Zound, but no shield battery overcharged this time. And it looks like Zound is finally losing these engagements after a very good ult. A very impressive ult. Hurricane will reinforce this location even more, and one blink forward will probably mean the end of Zound. This is way too much damage. Disruption Nova in the mineral line. Another blink forward. GG gets called by Zound, and Hurricane will get game number 2.
Yeah, well played there by Hurricane. First scouting the proxy Stargate, and as you can see, that game turned out way different compared to the first game.
Yeah, it was a very good show from both players. I feel it wasn't like the stomp the game 1 was. In the end zone, I'm not too sure if it was about like getting scattered a little bit too many times, or maybe committing to a fight that was never going in his favor. But in the end, it looks like Hurricane had the best defense, even though Zound had some very good defenses. It looks like the score will be tied, and deservedly so.
Yep, and looks like we're heading into our 3rd game here on Everdream LE. Oh, I love myself some Everdream.
Well, it is one of the most standard map, and what I really love about this map, especially mirror matchup, it's the ease of getting the free bases economy, which works wonders in all 3 mirror matchups, because you don't really need much more than a free base economy in the mirror. So it makes for some interesting games. I'm hoping we will see Harkens and such, but we will see.
I want to see a cannon rush. Forget about all that. I'm just kidding. All right.
Well, we all want to see a cannon rush. Don't be scared of saying that. Well, let's start with the introductions. Here in the top right hand corner, spawning as the blue Protoss player. The score has been tied. He's not winning anymore, but he can do this. He plays for Alpha X, hailing from Korea. It is Zound.
And spawning here at the 8 o'clock position is the red Protoss with an impressive Game 2 victory. Can he repeat it? It is Hurricane. And Bitterwood in the chat saying this matchup is pretty even, and I definitely have to agree. Both these players I think are pretty similar in terms of skill levels. Both of them have been competing in GSL Code S. We did see Zound get in the last season. I forgot if Hurricane got in. I forgot.
Yeah, it did, and it was eliminated in the first group stage as well.
Okay, yeah. So both of these players consistently competing in GSL Code S. So both of them are pretty solid players.
Oh, love me some mind games coming from Zound. Once again, he will have the second pylon being proxied. This time is just gonna be pretty much hidden here at the 4th base location, just to trick Hurricane into a defensive posture. We will see if it will actually make a difference or it won't. Hurricane not really a fan of proxying this pylon on the map. Actually, 3rd pylon coming already for Hurricane, so no early natural will come. There is a 3rd pylon coming from Zound as well over here in the natural. But, well. Oh, pylon block as well.
Yeah.
Just to catch these first 2 units coming out. You will see there are 2 adepts coming. And he has Stalker Sanctuary and 2 Stalkers coming. It looks like Hurricane is Zound, sorry, is really setting up to a little bit of a different strategy this time. Yeah, it is a talent console big drop, in fact. All
right, and this pylon block does force Hurricane to to retreat his adept to make sure he kills it, as he wants to go ahead and expand. So that's one of the kind of the positives of throwing down a pylon block, so that it delays the natural of your opponent.
Yeah, and while good positioning from Zound with the Stalkers will catch these adepts moving out, this battle will go in favor of Zound as long as he gets home in time to stop these adepts from shading through. And I'm not too sure about what is this probe doing in the top left-hand corner, but I can expect myself some proxy Dark Shrine if it comes to that. For now, it's just Blink, which it is going to be always important in this matchup, but Hurricane prefers to go for an earlier Robo and will start pumping out his first Immortal already. How do you feel about this? Like, it's another one of those dilemmas that Protoss player cannot quite agree on, if it's better to start it off with Blink, or if it's better to start it off with a little bit of a quicker Immortal.
Yeah, I mean, considering that he did scout that there was no second pylon by Zound, he was probably thinking like, there's probably a proxy pylon out there. It might be a proxy Stargate of some sort. So I think he just wanted to go with a Blink, but also Blink is, oh no, I'm sorry, Mordo. He made the I guess, well, he didn't scout the Stargate, so I guess he just went for the safer Immortal, and it's gonna actually spell pretty well for him, as Zound went for the blink tech. So with that Immortal, it makes it much harder to get the blink damage done.
It is quite a gamble though. Like, as you were saying, he was not really scouting much. So Blink is, I disagree with you there. I feel like Blink, it's a little bit safer because it's pretty much good against everything. It's good against Dark Templars, it's good against Stargate, and it's good against Immortals if the count is not too high, as we've seen Hurricane going back home. But having those Immortals early will actually scale better into the later stages of the game. So I really like that Hurricane is taking this gamble, but I'm not super sure, like, if a player such as Stats or, I don't know, like the more defensive Protoss, like maybe Showtime, or yeah, those are the first two that come into my mind.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, Blink Stalker is pretty good. It really depends on how you kind of use it, how you maneuver it. You need to use a bit maneuvering around, being creative with those Blink Stalkers. Just like this, getting the adepts to catch the opponent off position. You could have actually dive in with the Blink Stalkers to snipe some structures or some probes. So if you can maneuver around, because the main advantage of Blink Stalker is mobility, right? So if you can kind of abuse the mobility and get some early damage done, it could definitely work out in favor. But if you don't really do any damage with those Blink Stalkers, then as the game progresses, the opponent is going to have more and more Immortals, and then during that big main engagement, the Immortals does really heavy fire damage. So it really favors the player with the Immortal, assuming that the Blink Stalker player didn't get any early game damage done.
And as you were saying this, like, it looks like Zound is looking for a chance to do exactly what you were talking about, and I really like this coming up from him. A Blink forward will not be used, Blink will be saved to actually keep these Stalkers alive one after the other. Blink is up for both players, not a single Immortal or a single Sentry will go down. No key units will be sniped by Zound. In the end, this is not going to be a great engagement for the Blue Protoss, but he's adding up 5 more gateways. He's quite committed, I feel.
Yeah, he's gonna have to start pumping all those gateways, because he's only working off of 3 so far. Oh, he does catch the War Prism.
And he will lose one of his Stalkers. No Sentry will go down. Hurricane will be adding up after his Fur base goes up. A little bit more gateways as well. But we see the first Disruptor going out for Hurricane, while Zound is not really getting into any later stage of tech right now. No Robo Bay, no Dark Shrine.
Yeah,
It's just gonna be more focused.
that makes me kind of worried. I mean,
Yeah.
you definitely need to get something else besides blink stalkers. Maybe.
It's going to be zealots, like charge lots. Yeah, they are good against immortals, so okay. But is it going to be enough, especially with shield battery overcharge being a thing? Already a couple zealots will charge to their depths. And as I was saying before the game, engaging into this fur base is quite a nightmare.
Yeah, and also Hurricane does have those force fields. He's got 5 centuries worth of force fields. So, I mean, having a army like this where there's no Archons to break the force field. Oh!
Ooh, good catch by Zound, seeing the Disruption Nova and dodging it into the main while a Warping of Zealots will go in the mineral line. It looks like Hurricane is losing a lot of probes. All Zound needs to do is buy some more time for those to do the real damage. Blink is up, and it looks like everything will be safe for Zound. Hurricane losing 9 probes. And, well, it's a mirror matchup. Losing 9 probes means you're gonna be quite behind in economy for a lot of time.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Zound has to do, because again, Hurricane has the better tech with the Immortals and the Disruptors. With the Charge Lot and the Blink Stalkers, gotta pull the opponent left and right. So attacking at 2 places at once, that's exactly what Zound needs to do to at least stay even keel with the Red Protoss.
Now that the Zound is taking the deck the Hurricane was missing, and Hurricane is getting charged as well, the game will basically standardize, and in a spot in which Zound had a worker lead, this could really much work wonders. Even though I feel like both players are very even right now, because all Zound did was actually recover from a behind position, I still feel like the momentum swing can still be important, especially if this Warp Prism doesn't get too much damage here in the main of Zound.
Oh, Zound did scout it. He was trying to look for it with his Blink Stock, but just barely missed it. But he does have a cannon in his main base, but no shield battery, so actually gonna warp in some additional stalkers just to make sure that this Warp Prism doesn't do any damage.
In the end, he is going to be the one getting some damage. A couple probes will fall down. But the Warp Prism from Zound will also be a threat for Hurricane if he decides to actually start warping in more Zealots. And here comes the Dark Shrine for Zound. So we see the latest stage of deck for the blue Protoss as well. And I want to see these Dark Templars actually dealing some damage, since there is a photon cannon only in the fur base of our, actually also in the main. Naturally is exposed though.
Yeah, I think at this stage of the game, it's always safer to throw down at least one cannon per mineral line, because in PvP, Dark Templar play is so frequent. So always better to be safe than sorry, right?
Yeah, he's also going to be the first player to have Archons. And Archons are always important for Protoss players, but they're just increasingly more important in this matchup, because most often, like, the player with the most Archons will win. Oh, these 2 Immortals are threading in a very dangerous spot. Here comes the Disruption Novas. 2 will connect. This Immortal will barely stay alive. The second one will also not survive. But there are so many Disruptors for Hurricane.
Yeah, nine total
9
Disruptors. Jesus. That's a lot of balls to be shooting around.
Yeah. Definitely. Like, Hurricane is splitting his army into, he's really counting on these Disruptors shot, and so many Novas going left and right. Disruptors falling first for Hurricane. Will mean Zound will have a better trade over here, but the rest of the army is coming for the Red Protoss player. And the higher tech and higher count will mean... Oh my god, Disruption Novas! Oh! Wait a second, it was 4 Disruptors being killed over there?
Yeah, now all of them are even at 3 Disruptors apiece. That's a nice play there by Zound, catching Hurricane's army in the tail end with those 2 Disruptors. Actually, the first few Disruptors actually did a lot of damage, and then that last 2 did really well in terms of keeping the Disruptor count low for Hurricane.
it's all about who's shooting first. Like in the old Wild West, Disruptor versus Disruptor is all about who shoots first. And Zound was shooting first. He was scanning his opponent's Disruptors, and he kind of won the engagement. Hurricane though is really macroing like a god right now. He's not been missing a single second out of any warping. He's gonna be having a little bit more army supply. Dark Templars, 4 of them will go down against 1 Disruption Nova. It looks like Zound is committing on the other side as well. Both players looking to go for the base trade, and Hurricane will get so many workers out of this 4th base, which will go down. It looks like 1 Disruption Nova will stop a lot of the army of Zound from getting any damage at all, and a recall gets issued by Hurricane, who feels like he has the upper hand, and I really agree with him. Situation is looking rough for Zound. Here, a little bit of the army of Hurricane will be cut out in the open, but it looks like these force fields will stop the Disruptors from joining the fight in favor of Zound. The rest of the army of Hurricane is the crazy Disruption Nova will get so much damage out of the side blockers. Zound, 1 Disruptor to save his game. Situation is still looking rough. A blink forward will stop another Disruptor from actually shooting, and this is looking once more in favor of Hurricane. Another blink forward will get 1 more Disruptor, but Hurricane needs to be careful with these blinks, because Disruption Novas are always behind the corner to actually punish you, and this was a great punish. An Immortal and a Disruptor will go down. Hurricane looking very strong with the Disruptor play. Another crazy good Nova will come down, but it looks like Hurricane will add up his own, getting 2 Disruptors with his own Nova, and at this time he's gonna be having the Disruptors advantage. Dark Templars reduction will go forward, good blink, dodging 1 of the Novas. Dark Templars will not do much, not enough time to Shadow Stride forward. It looks like 1 crazy good Nova will go down on the army of Hurricane. Another will go down. Blink gets used to dodge it. And Zound suddenly finds himself 20 army supply ahead.
My goodness, these couple of minutes of Disruptor shots has been so insane. And all of a sudden, yeah, I mean, I think Hurricane was pretty much solidly, or at least slightly in the edge of the lead. But Zound, with some really great Disruptor hits, has all of a sudden gained the momentum, and now he's looking for the counterattack.
Well, he still needs to be careful, especially with the blinks. They need to be saved to dodge these Novas or to dive on top of the Disruptors. Here comes 3 Novas. Oh, a little bit too much commitment, I feel, for Zound. Only 1 Disruptor will go down, a blink forward, and it looks like Disruptors will go down for Hurricane. This is looking crazy bad for the red Protoss player. Another Disruption Nova will whiff for Hurricane. A blink back will save a bunch of Stalkers, but it looks like at this stage it's 2 Disruptors against none in favor of Zound, who will have free time to get this 4th base out of Hurricane. 9 probes will go down as well, and 40 supply advantage in favor of Zound. Blink gets used. There was a little bit of a window of time to actually drop down a Disruption Nova, but no purification will be at hand for now. Oh, another good Disruption Nova will not get any connection this time. With a little bit of a lower count, both players diving a little bit heavier into Stalkers will actually survive a little while longer. Oh, this Disruption Nova will not do much. Only zone the army of Zound. But here comes a very good one out of Zound, catching 1 of the Disruptors out of Hurricane, who's finding himself once more behind in count of key units. This Disruption will also get a bunch of Stalkers. In the end, the army supply of Hurricane is dropping quite fast, while the one of Zound is ever increasing. 2 more Disruptor are coming for the red Protoss player. Disruption Nova will not get any connection. This one will actually get a down, but a blink forward will help Zound still win this engagement.
Oh man, I think Zound might just have but another disruptor hit at the tail end, but there's just nothing left here for Hurricane, and Zound takes a crazy game number 3.
Oh, I don't even know what to say. This game was so good. No game will ever be better today, I feel. This was crazy good. Disruption, Purification Novas going left and right, getting so much damage for both players. In the end, Zound with better control will get this game, but it was no walk in the park.
Absolutely. And sometimes, you know, disruptor games like that, it really comes down to micro. And Zound proving that he had the slightly better micro there against Hurricane. But yeah, I mean, Zound was quite behind in the early game though. I mean, he tried to go. I mean, he went for the blink stalkers into charge lot, so he kind of delayed his higher tech units like Immortals or Archons. And when he was behind, he made the smart decision to go disruptors himself, and just relied on his micro to kind of pull himself back into the game.
Yeah, there is no better comeback mechanic than disruptors for Protoss players, really, as well as those Dark Templars actually getting some good shots, good attacks, good like getting left and right, just trying to blindside Hurricane a little bit. In the end, it was up. That was just down to micro, and as you were saying, like Zound has shown clearly that he was microing better, at least in this game, which is quite a feat by itself. Like microing better than Hurricane, yeah, not as low.
Yeah, I think you know, we usually, if people don't know, we usually have these kind of like the play of the day or play of the week, and I think that game definitely has some nice, great potential.
It probably has 4 or 5, right?
I know, right?
Yeah, but the disruptor hit, the Purification Nova went through the side blockers. Yeah, that one was just that great. Okay, we're heading on Pillars of Gold for game number 4. And we have our first match point coming for Zound. We will see if he will capitalize on it, or if his opponent will actually bring it to game number 5.
All right, countdown has begun.
All right, we're in the top right-hand corner, where there is a blue Protoss player spawning, currently a match point. As I was saying, playing for Alpha X, this is the Disruptor's God. Getaway mechanic, make room for Zound.
And spawning here at the bottom left, it is the red Protoss player, currently teamless. Can he tie up the series? It is Hurricane. All right. Interestingly enough, Zound has decided to go for the bottom wall off.
It is very interesting. Like Zound is playing PvZ while Hurricane is playing PvP, apparently.
Now this is one of the maps where you can't do it because the ramp area of the natural is pretty small, so you can pretty much wall it with the two gateway and the cybernetic core, or even just a 2 gateway and the pylon as well.
Which I feel like it's going to be what Zound will try to do here. Yeah, like these nexus, like I'm not too sure about it. 1 gateway nexus expand. What it is just a gate expand on the low ground in the natural. Like this is a perfect PvZ build order. Like this is a flawless PvZ opener.
Yeah.
There is one little problem. Hurricane doesn't play Zerg.
No, he doesn't.
Not too sure.
You know,
I'm super surprised Hurricane didn't start it off with 2 adepts as well. Why?
you know what? I think he wants to put some pressure on. He knows that Zound is only working off of one gateway, and what you usually sometimes see is the Protoss will make shield batteries right in the outside the natural, and Zound really can't do anything because he only has one gateway to produce a unit to try to snipe the shield batteries of the pylon. But it looks like this Hurricane hasn't decided to go for that. He's gonna go ahead and try to. I'm actually not sure. What does he go for a Twilight Cancel, or does he just expand after this? Looks like he's choosing to expand as he has the probe.
Yeah, he is definitely looking to expand. I feel like these has worked out well in favor of Zound, which I wasn't really expecting. But what will he do with the army disadvantage he will be having in a little bit? Of course, it's a robo. An early robo, yeah, I like it. I overall like how Zound is approaching this series. In the end, this shield battery blocking the 2 stalkers out for Hurricane will be all Zound needs, as well as a shield battery here in the natural to stop any damage from coming. And yeah, this robo is gonna be very much earlier than the one of his opponent, and it can make a lot of difference already. But that's not really doing much for Zound. Yeah, it will also be snapped down. And interesting enough, Hurricane will have his work get finished before Zound. Twilight Council as well. Wait, is this Glaive Depths?
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he could definitely go for it, or he just go for a blink as well. I mean, he has the option.
Yeah, he has options.
Yeah, he knows he's ahead, especially since he opened up with the 1-gate expo. So he has a really quicker natural. As you can see, is being slightly reflected in the worker count. I'm assuming it's probably gonna increase even further. But it looks like the stalker will catch his War Prism here.
Yeah, luckily enough, there was only one for Hurricane over there, so no snipe. And in the end, it's still gonna preempt Zound from getting this War Prism through the map and getting some damage. It's going to be Blink, as you were saying. I was just like letting my mind run wild with that Glaive at that timing. That it's something that Protoss players are not doing that much lately, and I still feel like it's sleeping OP even in this matchup. So
yeah, it's kind of gotten a little out of the meta recently.
Yeah,
but I feel like it's still capable of working out pretty well. But it looks like we have a frontal attack here by Hurricane. We'll get on top of these gateway structures as well as the cybernetic core. Zound, he's desperately trying to get in some more units here, but ooh, these are some really nice important structures to take down.
Yeah. In the end, a recall needs to be issued for Hurricane to keep these 2 adepts from destroying his own mineral lines. And already 7 procs going down. Zound fighting back. It was a great move from the blue Protoss. In the end, both players taking some serious damage, but 7 procs going down. It's gonna be working out in favor of Zound for the time being. I'm not super convinced about both players actually using the recall. It will lead this game to be a little bit of a stalemate for the next 2 minutes, because I don't think neither of them will actually commit to anything. We see both players sending their War Prisms through the map to try and get some damage. Here comes a little bit of a cancel out of Hurricane with his War Prism, which is interesting. Like, okay.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to scare him. He's like, peekaboo. And then he just ran off.
Yeah, he also wastes 1 warping for no reason at all. I don't know.
Well, certainly that move, I think, really helped out Zound. He only lost 1 gateway during that push. Was able to snipe out 7 probes, and he was already ahead in the economy. So taking out additional 7 probes furthered his economic lead, and now he's ready to pounce.
With 3 mortals, this is not gonna be easy for Hurricane. Blinking backwards to try and save as many units as he can. Good force fields will be dropped down by the Red Protoss player, buying himself some time, but it's still not gonna work wonders. It's 3 mortals against 1, and they're making it count. Stalkers falling left and right, while this Guardian Shield will keep the army of Hurricane very healthy for now. Good spread by the army of Zound, sorry, good spread by Hurricane will mean that Zound cannot really commit into a concave, but it's still 3 mortals against 1. 5 more Stalkers coming down for Zound. Both players will be even in army supply, but it's all about the tech, and Zound needs only to find the right spot to engage. The concave Hurricanes has been creating this far have been very good, and it's the only reason Zound hasn't been able to close out the match yet. It looks like he's gonna be playing it slowly. Doesn't really want to lose his immortals, doesn't really want to commit too hard into that. And with +1 upgrade in favor of Zound, I really feel like he should be a little bit more ballsy with his moves.
Yeah, this is his timing window. I mean, he does not have a third, or he has a really late third base. He's got the +1 upgrade. He's definitely got to make this attack count.
Definitely does. Hurricane reinforcing his position very quickly, adding up a lot of Stalkers just to be able to deal with this. It looks like Hurricane is gonna be diving a little bit too forward. This wasn't the best move he could possibly do. He's gonna be losing a lot of his own units, and Zound backing off. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Charge and +2 are coming from Zound. Hurricane is still a little bit too far from that. But if there is one way Hurricane can get back into this game is by having a fur base earlier and ramping up economy a little bit quicker than his opponent, which he has been doing for quite a while by now. Even though he's behind in gateway count, it's still looking scary with Blink Stalkers ready to blindside Zound.
Yeah, I mean, the one saving grace, I think, for Zound, though, is that Hurricane has yet to start researching his upgrade. So by the time +2 finishes, I think Hurricane might be still stuck on researching +1. So he has another timing window if he wants to, if he decides to attack later on. But we do see a warp in here in the main base of Zound. But with these shield battery and stalkers, he should be fine.
Yeah, nothing really has fell down in the main of Zound. Hurricane barely keeps his Warp Prism alive as well. Oh, that was risky. Meanwhile, the main armies are posturing. It looks like Hurricane has found a little bit of a good engagement over here. Gonna almost get one sentry down. But Zound still has so many more Immortals, and with Disruptors coming into play, this Dark Shrine will need to work wonders. This game is looking very similar to the one we've seen on Everdream, just the opposite way around. It looks like Zound is gonna be the one being ahead in everything for now. And seeing how he has played this from behind makes me quite like... I go as far to say that Zound is looking like the favorite over here because of the way he played it on Everdream, and right now he's gonna be having the tech earlier than his opponent, so I'm looking forward to this. Oh, Hurricane will get another cancel over here. Actually, it is a kill on the 4th base of Zound, but his army is quite off position right now. He will need to move it back home while Zound is actually committing into this 4th, which will need to be cancelled. Here comes the cancel from Hurricane, while a bunch of Stalkers of his are locked on the wrong side of the map. One Disruptors will fall for free out of Zound, who's adding up his own Dark Shrine and is recalling half of his army to actually deal with the counter-attack coming from Hurricane. Maybe trying to sandwich this. It's gonna be good if it comes down to that. This Disruptor going a little bit too forward. The blink backwards from Hurricane will keep these Stalkers very healthy. But there is one more Disruptor, not really in a good spot. Blinking backwards will save Hurricane army overall, I'd call it an even trade, even though Hurricane is getting his disruptor count advantage right now.
We do now see the DTs are out on the field. There is no. Oh, actually, there is a cannon at the dirt, but it's pretty exposed. There's none at the natural. But oh,
it's been sniped as well.
Yeah.
Ouch. Hurricane really not doing much with this. Of course, getting in the natural will probably be the only thing he can do. This Dark Templar is heading exactly there. There is an observer right now. And the two players will send their armies past each other. A bunch of probes are already falling down. One disruption nova will be used, but a very good dodge out of Hurricane will keep all of his Dark Templars alive. 19 probes have gone down. This is a little bit too crazy. Hurricane is also diving back on top of the army of Zound, who will dodge all of those disruption novas. It looks like in the end, the disruptor plays better for Zound. Once more, a very good disruption hit will get on top of the army of Zound, actually granting Hurricane a pretty good advantage into this fight. But so many protes are falling down for both players. 26 and counting. It looks like these Dark Templars in the main of Hurricane are evening the deal. In the end, the army of the Red Protoss will get a little bit of a better engagement. 32 probes down on one side, 35 on the other. Disruptors are falling by now in the main of Zound. And it is funny since the only thing that Disruption Novas cannot friendly fire is Disruptors. So Zound will deal with those Dark Templars that way. But Hurricane hasn't dealt with those yet. Recall gets used. In the end, the Dark Shrine out of Hurricane will also be sniped by Zound. This is very, very close. No observers are in this position yet. Finally, they come over here and Zound will clear the Dark Templars, ending up with 2 workers behind, but a little bit ahead in supply. And of course, very much ahead in terms of tech, with his Dark Shrine still being alive, and of course +3 kicking in just a second. Another blink forward will get a good engagement in favor of Zound, but still the higher disruptors count will work in favor of Hurricane, especially if those disruptors start getting so many good hits. This was a disaster for Hurricane, and this is game-ending damage. Dark Templars getting on top of everything. Immortals falling down. And here he comes. Zound gets the series and will head into the final.
Oh my goodness. My brain.
Oh my God. What is up with these fights? They were so long and back and forth.
I know there's so many things happening all across the map.
Yeah.
But you know what? Zound, he's just proving that when it comes to disruptor plays,
yeah,
he just has a better micro. And you know what? You gotta give it to him. I mean, he's earned the wins and he will advance to the finals. And yeah, just impressive.
It was a crazy good series. Like, so much fun, so much action. And I feel like Zound really has proven much. He's improving so quickly, he's getting so strong. And this disruptor play was just like the icing on the cake of a player that's ever increasing his skill, really.
Yeah. Guys, just a reminder that there is a Matcherino page for this event. You can see it in the, I guess, the info area in the below the video player, and then also you can see it if you scroll up in the chat. I think the link was posted early on by Sushi. So you head on over to that Matcherino event page, enter the code AXSS5. That will donate 50 cents for free to the overall prize pool. I'm sure the players will definitely appreciate it. And actually, speaking of Matcherino, let's actually take a little bit of a clip here to see how you can contribute, as well as what's the amazing tools that Matcherino provides to you if you decide to use it. So let's go ahead and take a little bit of a look here. So we'll be right back after this short clip. Don't go anywhere.
You can visit the Matcherino page for our event and contribute in many different ways. 1. Free coupon. Click Contribute, enter the specified coupon code to contribute a predetermined amount of money to the prize pool. 2. Free sponsor quests. On the right side of the screen are various actions supported by sponsors, including retweets, Twitter follows, surveys, among other things. Click into these boxes to complete the action and add the attached prize contribution to the pool free of charge. 3. Marketplace. Products are available in our marketplace, which also contribute to the fundraising pool. Be sure to check out the variety of apparel and collectibles, as well as other unique items. 4. Donate. Clicking on the Contribute button, you're able to add funds to your Matcherino wallet and then directly contribute them to the fundraiser page. Thanks for supporting your event with Matcherino.
All right, and we're back.
It looks like we're gonna wait a little while until special comes available. Yeah, I'm just typing that in the lobby. Like this is the special classic, but we have to be happy at least he woke up. Oh, my webcam is a little bit high. Yeah, it should be better right now.
All right, so I think wait, special is okay. He just woke up or something.
Yeah, it just. I don't know if you follow Winter, but every single time Winter sets up a show match for Special, and Special actually asks Winter to set up a show match. I feel like it has happened like 3 times in a row that he didn't show up. Yeah, it's just his ways.
All right.
He's a little bit crazy, but he's such a funny guy.
Yeah, hopefully he comes on soon. But let's, in the meantime, I guess take a look once again at the bracket. We do see that Zound defeated Hurricane 3-1. Now we have ourselves the Ragnarok versus Special series. Now both of these players do want to advance to the next round because not only does the actually 1 second here, it looks like the browser here is a little stuck. Let me go ahead and try to refresh it again. All right, hopefully this fixes it. All right, there we go. Let's take a look at the prize pool because the 3rd and 4th place does go home with $20, but if you go advance to the finals, you will at least secure double that at $40. And then if you happen to win the whole tournament, the whole event, you could go home with $120. So that's 3 times the amount of second place. So yeah, both these players definitely want to at least advance to the next round into the finals, and we'll see who is able to. At this time, it looks like Special is in the game, so hopefully we have him in the lobby soon.
Yeah, of course. He will be available shortly. So, you know what? This is one of the hardest series to actually predict that I found myself predicting in the past few days. Like, Special versus Ragnarok, like, of course it's TVZ. So, I gotta give it to Special. Like, he's quite good in the matchup. Let's all be honest. But Ragnarok is really one of those players that can really, really surprise you in many different ways. So I feel like it's going to be either a very good series, like a very back and forth series, or it's going to be a complete stomp for either of those players for no reason at all. Like out of the blue.
Yeah, I mean, but at the very least, I think both players are kind of evenly skilled. I think they're around the same tier.
Yeah.
Both of them, again, compared to Hurricane and Zound, has been competing in GSL Code S. So these players, I think, are pretty used to one another. I'm pretty sure they've come across one another in the ladder somewhere, or at least in some tournaments.
Yeah, they surely did. I'm just gonna check real quick.
By the way, guys, as we're getting this all set up, reminder just below the video player, there's a little follow button there. If you like the content that Alpha X is producing, and we of course will be producing more content here on this Trovo channel, make sure to drop us a follow, and get notified whenever we go live.
Very interested to see this as well. Like, there's this guy in the chat. Let's go special and let's go Ragnarok.
All right.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a good way to approach this series. I do agree with that. Let's support that.
Let's just support both players.
Yeah, like, may the best player win. I don't care who he is. I like it. I like the mood.
I also like his name, Innovation Authentic.
Oh yeah, I didn't actually read that.
There's no better way to prove that you're the authentic innovation, right? Just add the authentic to your name.
Yeah, official as well, maybe.
Yeah.
The one and only. I don't know. I can go on for quite a while, probably.
The official Snoopy.
Yeah. Well, I that isn't you though. All right, special still in a game. I don't know what is up in this game, but it has been going on for quite a while.
Yeah, I guess I suppose you want to get warmed up before playing in a tournament setting. Play some few ladder games, but sometimes those ladder games, those warm-up games, can take long.
Yeah, it is the way it is. Like, we're not running anywhere, so we don't have to take any flight. So we're gonna just wait until he's ready, of course. So what is your actually prediction for this series?
You know what? Both players has been playing really well recently, so it's I think it's pretty hard to predict. But I'm just gonna say I'm gonna go with Ragnarok. I feel like because he played I think in the recent Korean ESL Pro Tour event, reached the finals against Stats, and that was in a field of really strong Korean players. So I'd say Ragnarok is in pretty good tip-top shape to be coming into the series. So I'm just gonna go ahead and predict that Ragnarok might come out on top. Now I feel like Special is gonna at least get like a game or two, but I'm gonna go ahead and predict Ragnarok. How about you? Who do you predict coming out of this group or out of this semifinals?
I'm actually predicting the opposite. I feel like Special has a little bit of the upper edge in here, just due to him being a very adaptive Terran player, which kind of works in favor of him against Ragnarok, while being an insanely strong TVZ player. So just by seeing how him and TY have been approaching this matchup lately, I really feel like it's not going to be easy at all for Ragnarok, or for Korean Zergs in general, to face Special and TY both. Now, if we were looking like at a player such as Laser, or like a player even on skill with Ragnarok but an European Zerg, probably my prediction would be different. But since it is a Korean Zerg, I feel like Special will have a little bit of an edge here.
Yeah, I think I mean, considering that Special is pretty good in TVZ, I think most of his impressive wins has come against Zerg players. Definitely wouldn't be surprised if Special took home this victory.
Of course, it's not gonna be easy for any of those two players. It is a very even semifinals over here as well. Both players very close in skill, and you know what? I don't really remember. Like, of course, they have faced each other so many times, probably on ladder or anywhere really. I don't really remember any recent Special versus Ragnarok games.
Yeah, same here.
Just to see how this will go.
I'm trying to remember, but yeah, I don't recall any recent ones.
I think it has been quite a while.
I mean, if someone in the chat knows or can remember a recent one, then type into the chat. But as far as I could remember, I don't remember any recent ones. I mean,
I remember one in 2019 in GSL, but I don't really remember how it went. It was like season 2 or 3. But yeah, let me just look for it. Like,
yeah.
it's like Special versus Ragnarok. Let's go.
I mean, I do remember, like, like Special versus Scarlet, of course. Those kind of, I mean, because both of them plays.
There was a Special versus Ragnarok. Yes, there was. Yeah, now I remember why I remember this game, because it was a mass battle cruiser game.
Ah.
Yeah, it was the losers match of a group stage, but I don't really remember who won. I think Special won. Yeah, let me go and find out. Oops. Yeah, I gotta know. Like, this is the only game I remember out of those two guys.
Yeah, I don't think they have much.
Okay, Ragnarok won.
Okay, Ragnarok. Okay, cool.
Oh, it was the winners match, apparently.
Oh.
Oh, and he has beaten both TY and Special that time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a 2-1 versus TY and a 2-1 versus Special in the 2 matches he had in last year's. It was also like the first group stage, so it was a group with Ragnarok, Special, TY, and SOS.
Jesus.
Like that's a very stacked group for a run of 32.
Yeah, definitely. That could actually be our 4 players in one of these Alpha X series special.
Yeah, it will be quite even. Well, not really, since TY is playing like a god right now. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible that TY can repeat and become 2 times back-to-back GSL Code S champion. Like, that would be insane, considering how, like, he's transitioned also into a caster recently. And usually, like, once a player becomes a caster, it's like the motto is, or the mantra is, that they're kind of done for. Like, their tournament competing days are kind of downhill from there. But TY proving the opposite. He's proving that, you know what, you can transition into a caster and still remain on top.
I'm just having fun at this lobby right now.
Oh man, Special's finally in the lobby, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry for the delay. His game is finally done. He's in the lobby and countdown has begun. We're about to get started in our game 1 of this best of 5 series.
And he was also about to get into this game as a 3rd player.
Oh my god.
Okay.
All right.
We fixed it. Let's go in submarine. All right. We're on submarine. Here, in the top left hand corner, spawning as the Blue Zerg. Playing for Alpha X, it is Ragnarok.
All right. Spawning at the bottom right. He's the red. Oh man, this back and forth. Here's a red Terran from Team Exxon. It is Special. Already we having ourselves some nice little trash talking.
Yeah. Always enjoy Special games due to that. It seems like he has a different banter with every different player in the GSL
I know, right?
circuit. Like, I do remember Special versus... Oh, Reapers! Okay. I can never take my eyes off of the screen when special is playing because he's always doing something really. And it looks like it's going to be a Wolof on the low ground, probably on his way to do a free Rex Reaper rush. Or is it though? There's only one guess being taken. Oh, it is going to be a Reaper first.
You know what? I kind of like this because this map is pretty short distance-wise. So these Reapers can actually go across the map pretty or relatively quick. So not a bad choice here in terms of build order.
Ragnarok will see that this is not been super common lately. So I really feel like it's a very interesting way to approach this first game of the series. Of course, Ragnarok will be adding up a ton of Zerglings to actually deal with these Reapers. The Queens will be even more important. But it's going to be just a 2 Rex Reapers. We don't see the third Rex being dropped by special. We see a command center being dropped instead. So I don't really feel like it's actually all in into this. Like, not even remotely, probably.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's super all in. Yeah, he's throwing a factory behind it, so he's definitely not all in.
It is an interesting evolution to this build order. One, I'm curious to see how it will bode for him. Of course, he's gonna be having his important tech a little bit later. He's probably not gonna be able to do any kind of alien harassment at this stage, but these queens are actually in real danger right now. One of the Reapers is very red in health. He will actually survive and get a little bit more kills. In the end, there's still... Okay, yeah, he's going to lose it anyway. But, what Special has done with these Reapers is not really what I was expecting him to do. He's not taking any good engagements. He didn't really get any damage. He just killed a bunch of Zerglings, losing a Reaper. It's not like he is committed, of course. But Ragnarok, not really going too far out of his way to actually counter this.
Well, I guess he did force out a lot of lings, but yeah, definitely not as much damage as you want. I mean, considering, you know, in the past we've seen players like Byung abuse Reapers like crazy, making them... Oh wait, he's got to lower them. He's got to lower the Rex. Oh.
Yeah, there's just way too many Reapers over there too.
Okay, that
actually get into that.
That was could have been a bit scary.
Yeah, it could have been a lot scarier. But with these many grenades being available for special, it would have been a little bit of a suicide for Ragnar to dive into that.
Yeah.
But I do agree it was a very tense second over there. There are a lot of rushes incoming for Ragnarok. It looks like the Blue Zerg is looking for a way to exploit the lack of tech out of special, who's not getting any tanks, by the way. He's getting a tech lab next to this starport, which will probably mean there's going to be some Banshee play after this. Banshee is very good on this map since it's a very short one. But Ragnarok has been making so many units right now that... yeah, I don't know. Does special have enough to defend this? Not right now.
Oh, now he sees the roaches moving across the map. 22 lings were made behind this, so he is pretty committed to this.
Ravagers will pop out just now. Ranking the fight in favor of Ragnarok. Of course, the first Banshee halfway through. Banshee cloak just started.
Oh!
Here comes the rest of the army, and Lynx will get a beautiful surround on the army of special. This medevac will save a lot of it before it can actually be destroyed by those Ravagers. But in the end, Ragnarok hitting the wall right now to stop the army of special from growing increasingly strong in numbers. The first Banshee is going to be out in just a second, but the damage is already clamping up for Ragnarok. It's going to be one Banshee against a bunch of Zerglings. Yeah, I don't like that for special. Even though he has Hellbats, these Ravagers are still going to be posing a very big threat. One Banshee trying to do its best to keep it in favor of special. One of the Rex will go down, the other is just burning right now. But Special is not really defending too great against these Ravagers are falling left and right. But this is not a supply block, this is a disaster for Special. It looks like Ragnarok in the end will be happy with the damage he has dealt. His barracks will not survive. Burned down. And the Banshee is the only single reason Special is still alive.
Yeah, but damage has been done. Not only taking down the 2 racks, but also canceling stim. So he ensures that Special can't really move out anytime soon.
Special, not really adapting to the situation. 3 more racks being made by him. And yeah, this Banshee, of course, trying to get some damage, but Sport Colors are, of course, already in the mineral lines of Ragnarok. Pose needs. Ish needs a pose. Yeah, like Sushi just said, like Special needs to play mech now. I feel like he needed to play mech. But he's adding 3 more racks right now, Raxes. And yeah.
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
No, I don't know if it's the right idea. That's all.
Yeah, I agree. I think he definitely should have probably gone for mech instead. Knowing that his barracks are taken now, as well as the stim pack. It would have been taking. It would take a long time for him to kind of start moving out. So I think mech would have probably been the smarter choice.
Like there is no down trade right now in terms of tech time, since he would have needed to make 1 Rex and then factories, which is it takes like a little bit more time than starting 3 Rex just ASAP. But this Bio army, while trading well into roaches, will not be there in time to defend against a stronger kind of timing, which Ragnarok is actually preparing right now. He's getting his upgrades, he's getting his units, he's getting Hydra Den as well. He's just getting ready to deal the finishing blow.
Yeah, and now I would hope that Ragnarok, in this downtime where no action is really happening, to kind of take down the rocks, because those rocks can sometimes be a detriment to the Zerg to get this around, right? To get the flank. And so I think if he has any downtime and really has nothing to do with those roaches, you might as well go ahead and kill the rocks. But at least at the very least, oh, actually, hold that thought. There's a Hellion drop here and the main base. So far, not too many drone kills.
Yeah, Ragnarok has been dealing with this quite well. He has spread them quite evenly. Of course, 6 drones will still fall, evening the drone count, the worker count for the 2 players. But these are a cute little move from Special. What really did was get a lot of scouting information, but never saw the Hydra Den, which is probably the most important piece of tech that Special is lacking in terms of scouting. I think he saw right now with the Ravens, and with the Lurker Den being dropped, okay, Ragnarok is taking some pages out of the books of some European Zergs, dropping that early Lurker Den in this matchup, trying to get his upgrades as quick as possible. Once he transitioning into the mid game, he's gonna be finding himself in a very good spot once Lurkers start popping out as well. With the Hive incoming, yeah, Ragnarok really starting those Rainer gains.
In the meantime, Ragnarok continuously spreading those creep tumors, because those lurkers, those roaches, those hydralisks, definitely wants to make sure to engage on the creep to get the to get on top of the mech, or not the mech army, the Terran army. And yeah, there's a really nice creep spread. A little bit lacking on the south side, or the left side, south side, but at least on the right side, he's continuously increasing the creep. But in the meantime, we do see a little bit of a move out here. Now these Reapers, they have survived to the 10-minute mark here, but will finally go down as they're pretty much useless at this stage of the game.
Yeah, it was some good scouting, but yeah, this bench is also flying a very dangerous spot. Looks like the Raven will go down. There is one overseer incoming over here, and Banshees, will actually survive.
Oh man, if these Marines go on top of these lurkers, that would be so sweet.
Yeah, but they never did. And in the end, Special taking an interesting trade, getting the
Oh
Overseer.
he's
Yeah, his holding position.
yeah.
Don't want to show his end yet, which is interesting, I'd say.
Yeah, it's just, there's a little kind of trick, even all the way to from Brood War, where they players would like make their lurkers not shoot until.
And look at this! Oh my god! Yeah, here they come. So much damage coming from Ragnarok. This was crazy good for the Zerg player. Special running on top of those lurkers will lose his whole army, and here it comes, full Rainer style. Flexing on top of his opponent on Submarine. Here Ragnarok will be 70 supply ahead, and these lurkers start their relentless march into the mineral lines, stopping the economy from Special from growing while the rest of the army deals with its marines. It looks like Ragnarok will find his way on top of the rally point. Sensor tower goes down. There's still a bunch of tanks over here, but these Hydras are already getting a good foothold. GG gets gold, and Ragnarok gets game number 1. I love this game from start to finish.
Yeah, same here. My favorite play was, of course, the lurkers. I mean, you don't see that every day, so it's kind of like a bailing mines, but with lurkers.
Yeah. So many great games today. Like, it's just been like the 5th game of the day, and I really feel like only the first game of today was a little bit not great. Every single one after that has been such an incredible game.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. These has been some really sweet games, and I expect this series, these upcoming games in this series, to be just as good as we have seen.
Also, Ragnarok looking very sharp in his game number 1. Like, the reason I was telling before the game that I was feeling like Special at the upper end is because Korean Zergs are not really starting to get into Lurker, Viper, Hydra army composition. These kind of, with Banelings of course as well, this kind of army composition that most of the European Zergs are starting to rock and show how strong it is in this matchup. And Ragnarok really taking his time to study these foreign scene ZBT really shows that he's trying to improve in the matchup, and I feel like while he could improve in some points with his style, he has shown he knows how to use it. He knows how to play with that style. And not many players are actually that good with lurkers, so I'm confident he will show some great games today.
Yeah, I mean, we recently heard Rainer talk about how good lurker play is against Terran, and that's like the main reason why he feels so confident against Terran these days is because of that lurker play. And I feel like Terran players are still kind of figuring out how to play against it still.
Yeah.
There's no like true answer that has been figured out thus far. So yeah, I think game 1 definitely proved how come why Rainer is so confident in lurker play these days.
Well, starting off with introductions in the bottom left-hand corner here on Eternal Empire, we're looking at the base of the cheeky blue Zerg. Playing for Alpha X, it is Ragnarok.
And spawning here at the top right is the red Terran representing Team Exxon. It is Special.
So we see an early pool coming from Ragnarok. I don't think it's any kind of too aggressive pool. It's probably just a way to be safe against proxies or anything like that, especially on a map such as Eternal Empire, which you cannot really be punished for an early pool anyway. So yeah, it's just gonna be 6 lanes apparently. I don't feel like he's going to be getting too deep into the lane play.
Yeah, and you can definitely send those lanes across the map, get some some get some damage done on the SCV building the command center, he can prolong or delay the building of the command center, and that would in itself would have paid for itself. And oh, just barely misses the Lings here with that SCV. Or
yeah, that was very close.
Yeah, or did he see it? No, I don't think he's seen it because he's sending the Reaper across the map.
Yeah, I don't think he did see it. SCV also goes straight to the third. Not gonna catch the early pool being dropped by Ragnarok. Of course, the creep is kind of selling it out this time, so Special probably knows by now this has been an early pool play. But yeah, here comes the Lynx. There is one Marine over here in the... Oh, the Lynx get past the wall of... Oh, this is terrible, terrible news for Special. He needs to pull so many SCVs. Of course, Ragnarok, all he's doing right now is wasting Special time. And his time is very precious since Ragnarok will be getting a third base very quickly. I feel like... Oh, or maybe don't. But yeah, Ragnarok's still in the main of Special right now.
Man, that was a really nice win there for Ragnarok, because not only did he delay the building of the command center, but he also had to force Special to pull those SCVs off mining minerals. So as we take a look at the income graph, you can see a little spike there for Ragnarok.
Oh, and this weekend apparently we're gonna have Zound versus Armani and Solar versus Zest. Crazy games as well.
Sweet.
For the next special series. Alright, this is one of the favorites out of Special, the Fusion Core here on Eternal Empire. It's probably his favorite play overall, I'd say, especially in this matchup. I do feel like he's growing ever stronger with the mech build on Eternal Empire, just as TY is rocking right now. So I'm curious to see how he will perform. These aliens trying to get in the natural. Oh, the block with the Evo Chamber will not go down. A lot of drones will actually fall to these aliens. A total of 12. That's so much damage. And Special finds his way back into the game, I feel.
Yeah, 12 workers before the 5-minute mark. That is, I mean, I'll take that any time of the day. That is a lot of workers to lose. Now, if it was like maybe say 10 minutes into the game, maybe not as crucial, but even before 5 minutes, that's a lot of damage done there. And now I would say Special has the slight edge here.
Yeah, with Yamato Cannon being researched, the first battlecruiser going up, Ragnarok will start his own Spire. I don't know if it was going to be his build anyway, or if he has some... Did he scout? Yeah, okay, he did scout it. It is scout the Fusion Core. So of course, it is going to be a reaction to the battlecruiser play. First BC is about to be out just a little bit before the Spire. So in the end, Ragnarok will need to be positioned a little bit better with his queens if he wants to defend against his PCs. Or at least the first one. Where is it going? Alright, straight into the main we go. Queens getting over there. The first one will be brought to Red Elf before being transfusion back to full HP. Of course, this BC will fly back into the third, trying to blindside the Queens. Here you can find some damage before Yamato Cannon is done. So a lot of drones will need to be pulled, while the Hellions try to get some good ground here on top of these lanes. A very good surround will stop Special from getting too much damage. Of course, 3 drones are still going to fall. 7 mutas incoming, but the Queens will keep the main damage from going down on top of the mineral lines. Oh, will they though? Oh. Of course, the Lynx will try to get this around. These islands are so slippery though. They will go past it and will get so many good link kills. Here come the mutas, stopping these aliens from getting too much. Still 5 more drones will go down, as well as an overload, causing a supply block for Ragnarok. We will have to work with what he has for quite a while. And these mutas need to find so much damage. I don't really feel like they can. With 2 battle cruisers jumping in the main, Ragnarok is finding himself in real trouble. And Surprise Special didn't actually focus fire that Spire. 2 Yamato cannons going down. One of the battle cruisers is actually very bruised. I feel like he's going down. This is bad news for Special. The second one is very bruised as well, but these mutas being transfusion will not be able, I feel like, to close it off and get the kill on top of these BC. Or will they though? It looks like they will. 2 BC down, devastating damage for Special.
Yeah, it's a bit questionable, I should say, because he did get those mules. He should have known that if he did teleport his battle cruisers, that those mules can't get on top of those battle cruisers. So a little bit questionable on his decision to actually do the teleportation onto the Zerg's base.
Yeah, to be honest, Ragnarok now has full map control, and he's just getting lanes. He's gonna be getting his upgrades very quickly. He's expanding freely, and there is pretty much nothing Special can do about it. Yeah, this is looking pretty bad for the Terran player. I'm actually surprised he was able to keep up with his bio production, and of course not going mech has put him in a little bit of a better position. But I do feel like we're once back again to a similar spot as we were in game number 1, where Ragnarok has found a little bit too much damage in form of just getting some key stuff down and getting his own economy and upgrades going. Of course, he's gonna be needing to cancel the 4th base and started in another different position while sacking this Burr base as well. But his main army, meanwhile, on the other side of the map, will get even more damage than Special can get with his Marine Bio army, since the defensive position of Ragnarok will still allow him to actually start a lot of units once he needs them. Mutas are actually surviving the missile turrets as well right now, and once these lanes get into the production, it's going to be crazy bad for Special. Of course, this Bio army and T-Tanks are still going to be pretty hard for Ragnarok to deal with, but with these many Banelings, I feel like he can clear it quite efficiently. Of course, the production of Special is suffering some tremendous damage to these mutas and links. The Banelings are down, but not Baneling speed. Okay, I didn't know about this. No Baneling speed is terrible for Ragnarok. I feel like he thought he had that because there is no other reason he will go for this base trade. Without Baneling speed, he cannot fight this. And this is not looking good for Ragnarok all of a sudden. 25 drones down and 15 SCVs and counting down on the other side of the map for Special. But right now, it looks like Ragnarok really needs for more time to actually stop these contained from Special from getting even more damage. More drones are falling left and right, 34 workers to 40. But the real issue right now is that Ragnarok is spinning his main with slow Baneling.
Yeah, and also his I guess 9 o'clock base has been scattered as well, so that's gonna go down, and there's really nothing that Ragnarok can do unless he breaks free out of this contain here by Special. And here we go, he's gonna roll in with those links, those slow Banelings, and all those tanks gonna focus fire on those Banelings, that clump of Banelings, and oh no, it's looking worse and worse for our blue Zerg.
Yeah, a little bit too forgetful, our friend over here, not getting that Baneling speed. Really hindering, and right now this is looking very rough. These mutas are still rocking damage on top of production on the other side of the map, keeping this game alive, but I don't think it will last for a lot longer. Of course, Special still doesn't commit into the main, which is interesting. Yeah, GG gets gold, of course. Like, there is no way Ragnarok can get back into the game on just one base. It was quite a sad ending of a game that Ragnarok really had going on for him.
Yeah, I feel like Ragnarok just had was kind of in a great position, a solid position, But then Special just hit a timing, I feel like, right when Ragnarok was transitioning to Banelings. Wasn't able to get the Baneling speed, so he decided to go for the base trade. But that base trade also cost him the one of the Baneling nests in the third base, as well as the +2 and the +1 upgrades. Special was able to get on top of the evolution chambers and cancel those upgrades. So Ragnarok after that was kind of on the back foot. Wasn't able to break free out of the contain, and was just stuck on that main base there with slow banelings, which is never a great thing.
No, absolutely not. And yeah, I really feel like it was all about just forgetting the upgrade. I don't really feel like the way he played like he had Baneling speed. So yeah, I just feel like he just didn't remember to start it. And it's pretty sad because it's one little small mistake. Maybe even clicked on it, and like it happens sometimes that you just go on your Baneling nest, you start your Baneling speed, and you thought you started it, but you didn't have enough resources, and you didn't start it, and you thought it was finished, but you never did make a Baneling for the whole game. Then you make Banelings, and okay, I'm just gonna wreck these contain with my Banelings because they're fast, but they were not.
Yeah, I mean we all been there. I mean, like as a Protoss player, like sometimes like I feel like I've researched Warp Gate, and then 5 minutes into the game I'm like, oh snap, I forgot to research Warp Gate. I'm screwed.
Oh, very special.
Okay, specials in game. Okay, there we go.
I will make you referee by the way. Mage has a little bit of flex.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Okay, the players are ready. Let's get into the third game of the series. It's gonna be on Ice and Chrome. The score is tied. Oh, wait. Okay. We had I thought we had the races swapped, but yeah, they were not.
Yep, it's all good. All good. All right, Ice and Chrome.
Looking forward to this great map. Here we are, in the bottom left-hand corner, spawning as the red Zerg. Waiting for Alpha X. It is Ragnarok.
And spawning here at the top right is the blue Terran player from the team of Team Exxon. It is Special. And look at what we have here, Akon.
Oh, wait. What kind of proxy is that? Because we see 3 SCVs going through. It is going to be a 3 Rex. Or maybe even a 4 Rex, I don't know. And spot. Oh my, is it hard to spot the proxy over here? So close, but yet so far away from this overload. And there is also a drone actually actively looking for a proxy, but it's really not going in the right direction. He will go back into the main right now, and Ragnarok will be content with his Arch gas pool build order, thinking it's all fine, while the world is burning around him right now.
Oh man, yeah, that is really unfortunate that the Overlord wasn't able to spot it. I mean, it's really hard to call where to send your Overlords, right? I mean, you could send it to the outer skirts, but at this stage you can't really scout everywhere unless you just like send out 2 drones out, which is never economically viable. So all right, looks like Special will have a slight edge in terms of the surprise factor, but it all comes down to execution. Can he execute it?
Well, this bunker is very well hidden from sight. The first Reaper is coming, and Ragnarok finally knows this is danger. Reaper number 1 will start to get a first kill of the game, first blood. Goes in favor of Special. A bunch of links are already out. There are 2 SCVs trying to finish this bunker. The bunker will indeed finish with 2 Reapers actually defending it. There is 1 Spine Crawler, which is going to pose a problem for a little while for Special while his numbers increase. Of course, 3 more Reapers are incoming and they will start to fight down Queens as well. Right now, Reapers will get into the bunker. One of the Queens is very exposed, the other will be getting into position. This Spine Crawler, of course, is gonna be a very big problem for the bunker. Meanwhile, the Reapers will find themselves surrounded and will need to go all the way around to get out of the main base of Ragnarok. The bunker will be salvaged, or actually will be killed just barely by the Spine Crawler. It looks like Special is not finding the damage he was looking for. Oh, the transfuses were clutch to save those Queens. One of them will indeed go down, while the Spine Crawler gets a little bit further to maybe stop the Reapers from jumping into the main. But so many drones have been killed, so many Lings have been killed, and right now the Natural is under attack, under fire. Special just going past the Spine Crawler, getting into the main, trying to focus down the spawning pool. But so many drones are exposed, trying to get around the Spine Crawler. I don't feel like Ragnarok can do much about this. There is only 1 Queen. A bunch of Lings are trying to do their best to keep up with the Reapers. But jumping left and right between the cliffs will ensure Special is fighting right where he wants to fight. 1 Reaper will go down. Actually, a second one will barely survive. In the end, the Reaper count will drop lower and lower for Special. But the damage has been dealt. Right now, so many Queens have fallen. It looks like Special will be needing another round of Reapers to start closing out this match. Even more Lings are coming. The fight is great for Ragnarok, actually getting 2 Reapers down. More Lings are coming, getting another round. But in the end, Special will be able to keep his Reapers alive. Yeah, his worker count is still 12. He's not making any workers, but what does he need workers for if he's able to keep the drone count lower? Of course, right now he's not being able to do that. He needs more Queens, he needs more damage. Another Spine Crawler will be started in the Natural, but Special relentlessly getting more Lings killed. His Reapers are still surviving. This Spine Crawler will probably be the end of this push though. And Special backing away, trying to find a way into the main maybe. Ragnarok will be in position, but not enough position though. Not enough Lings to stop this. And in the end, another surround will come. This is a great surround, great fight coming from Ragnarok. So many grenades going left and right, but in the end, all will be cleared. Ragnarok gets game number 3.
Oh, it was a good try, and the surprise factor was there, but again, it all comes down to execution. And you know, Specials are great at microwing, but I mean, he tried to channel his in there Byung, just wasn't able to do so. And well played there by Ragnarok. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed by how Ragnarok defended that.
I'm pretty impressed by how my voice was able to handle.
Yeah, it was so great, man. You were on a row, and yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I like being the play-by-play caster. I feel like there's less way to go wrong, probably. Just describing what is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Special had it for a minute as well. He was looking so great from him. But then, like, there were 2 great surrounds. I clearly remember 2 different situations in which Ragnarok had 2 very good surrounds. And it just started go worse and worse from there. For Special, wasn't able to get any more Queens. Wasn't able to get through the Spine Crawler. Wasn't able to get any more drones. So in the end, Ragnarok kind of overwhelmed his opponent, and right now he's at match point. And I don't know why the guys aren't showing up.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. Are they in the? Okay, there we go.
Again. Yeah, okay.
All right, I guess while we wait for Special to... Okay, there we go. Special. Never mind. All right. Pillars of Gold. Is Mage still having problems?
Yeah, it's casting from our cast.
Okay, cool.
We're gonna be refereeing this one more game. We're going on Pillars of Gold, as Snoopy was saying, just waiting for the players to be ready. Yeah, you can see the banter that is been going on. But yeah, these two guys are really, really funny.
Yeah.
I also have to it just came into my mind. Like, Ragnarok held that without scouting the proxy. That is very impressive.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what to say. Great play by Ragnarok. That's all we can say, really. All right.
there we go. Scoreboard has been updated. Let's go ahead and introduce our lovely players.
You're in the bottom left-hand corner as the Blue Terran, playing for Team Exxon. He needs to win 2 in a row. Make some noise from Juanito. He needs your Doritos. This is special.
Oh god, now I want some Dorito chips. All right, here spawning. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just said I know that feeling.
Oh man, junk food. Really want them right now. Anyhow, we have here spawning at the top right as the red Zerg player, 1 game away from clinching the series. From Team Alpha X, it is Ragnarok. All right, this time around, no proxies.
Yeah. If it breaks, fix it. It wasn't looking so great for him. Even though he was actually winning at a certain point, like Ragnarok was looking so confident with that early defense that I really don't think Special should go for anything to the likes of it.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, he held the Reaper rush despite not scouting it, and so I mean, if you're gonna go for a proxy again, it's a bit risky considering how well Ragnarok was able to defend it without even scouting. Now, imagine if he did scout it, that would have been a much easier hold.
Of course, we're also on Pillars of Gold, one of the largest map of the pool. So, like, it is a similar thing as Chrome. Like, it leaves you very much exposed if you go for any kind of proxy here. So, yeah, like, it didn't work on Chrome. I don't feel like it's going to work on Pillars of Gold. Ragnarok will have his links ready to stop this Reaper, and I feel like we have the first game where everything is going quite normally.
Oh yeah.
All the other games have had some little kind of gimmicks. Like this one is just absolute standard openers from both players. And the only thing is Ragnarok actually not getting a very early third, like most Zergs try to do. But this is something I've seen out of him more often than not. I feel like it's more a matter of style than anything else.
Oh, interesting. It looks like Special actually went for a second Marine instead of adding a tech lab or a reactor.
Yeah, that is interesting actually.
Yeah, usually you would just see immediately tech lab, right? And then you switch it off with the starport. Now the starport is finished and there's no tech lab to switch it off of. It might just be a Hellion medevac drop. We've seen Special try to do that in one of the other games.
It is a fusion core being dropped in the end by Special, so it's gonna be BCs again. So maybe the second Marine was just to deny scouting?
Ah, yeah.
That's my explanation, but
yeah, that's a good point, because if you can deny scouting, and then also, you know, with the battle cruiser, you don't really need a quick tech lab. because you gotta wait for the fusion core to finish. So yeah, this is actually a good point here.
It's a good thing out of special. Yeah, I like it. I do like it. Oh, I never actually realized that just where the overload from Ragnarok has been shoot away, there is like the statue of a warp prism.
Oh yeah.
Or is it an arbiter? Or maybe it's an arbiter. Yeah, it's an arbiter.
Okay, it is? Okay, yeah, it might be. It's hard to say, but
it really looks like a warp prism.
Yeah. Alright, Yamato Cannon once again coming out for special. Now we did see in the I think it was Eternal Empire was the game that he attempted to go for the same build, but didn't work out because he actually teleported on top of Mulus, or actually not on top, but he teleported across the map while Mulus were out in the map, and so the Mulus was able to retreat and snipe them down along with the queens. But oh, special is actually going to commit into this natural here with so much queens.
Don't know about that. So many queens, as you were saying, stopping this from getting any damage. Yikes. Sorry for interrupting you.
Oh no, it's all good.
First BC is coming. Weapon refit not done yet. Targeting down the highest L, the highest energy queen. Still no transfuses from the others. It looks like in the end, special will get the first queen out. These queens have a lot of energy though, so getting a fight with them probably not the most clever thing. He's waiting until weapon refit is done while microing his aliens in the third base. Ragnarok will get another great surround and stop these aliens from getting too much damage. This battlecruiser already suffered 200 HP damage. Now that weapon refit is done though, you can start sniping down a couple queens. Oh, weapon refit still not done yet. A good transfuse will keep this overload alive. Mule gets dropped by the special to repair the battlecruiser. Okay, he's now finally repairing it. Okay, he didn't really repair it much. That's a little bit of a wasted mule.
Okay, there he's going back to get some additional repairing. Gotta make sure those mules pay for themselves, right?
Yeah.
Or we're gonna have to dock their salary.
Yeah. And like dropping a mule for repairs is already like suboptimal. So not repairing with it, it's even worse. Like the Spire is going up for Ragnarok meanwhile, but special has already tactical jumped the second battlecruiser through the map. Both battlecruisers will be at a full health. Yeah, one is like in 5 HP, but yeah, okay. Weapon refit is down. Yamato Cannon will go down on 2 queens, immediately exploding these Yamato Cannons. It looks like in the end, one of the battlecruisers will be shoot away, the second one still fighting the queens. But the fight has gone in favor of special, killing 3 queens. Right now, 2 more mules being dropped to repair these battlecruisers while Ragnarok is looking for a counterattack.
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed it, but while the battlecruiser attack was coming or happening, the Lings got the kill on those Hellions. So right now, special is gonna be relying on these battlecruisers as well as just a bunch of Marines, and it's a little bit. I'm a little bit afraid for special because if you're only working off of Marines, I mean, considering the amount of Banelings that Ragnarok has, one surround, one really bad engagement, and I think that might be GG. So special is gonna have to be really careful with his micro and his Marines.
And this time Ragnarok was so afraid he didn't start Baneling speed that he started like immediately after the Larry was done. So he's gonna be having Baneling speed with this time. Meanwhile, the battlecruisers in the main will find some corruptors waiting for an tactical jump is available. They will jump away before anything bad can happen. But this means Ragnarok will get some map control. The army of special actually sneaks past. The army of Ragnarok, the wall is open, but you don't want to lose those Banelings to the battlecruisers. Once again, the army of special right now finding a very good spot. Ragnarok needs to find a very good engagement with his Banelings. He doesn't really have the possibility to lose many of those Banelings. 2 of them going down 3 and 4. It looks like Ragnarok finding himself once again in a little bit of a rough spot. He has enough army back home to deal with this, but map control not in his favor at all. Corruptors looking for the battle cruisers. Tactical jump is not available. These Corruptors will get a lot of damage. Weapon refit is helping with these Yamato cannons, getting on top of everything. The Marines will get on top of the Corruptors as well, shooing them away. Meanwhile, in the natural, actually in the third base of Ragnarok, the Marines are committing. Everything is out of position for special. The tanks are out of position. The Balins will get connections with everything. And the Corruptors will kill the last battle cruiser. GG gets called. Everything went down so fast for special. And Ragnarok gets the series.
Yeah.
Oh, you are right, my friend.
Yeah, he's going to... Yeah, well played there by Ragnarok. I mean, that map is just really wide open. So things like surrounds are so prevalent on that map, and you can see it right there. Just the really nice flank there, the really nice sandwich, and Ragnarok was able to clean house, and he will advance to the finals to face against Zound for the top prize, the #1 prize of $140 plus, or actually $120 plus, and yeah, it's going to be a really sweet series.
Yeah, and so happy to see two Alpha X players actually facing each other in the finals. Ragnarok versus Zound. It's gonna be a great series. We've seen those two guys face each other quite a lot of times by now after Ragnarok joined the team. So, of course, we're gonna see some nice mind games here and there. I'm really interested to see how this will go.
Yeah, same here. All right, as we get this lobby set up, I'm just gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a 2-minute break, and then when we come right back, we'll get started on our best of 7 series. But before we get into our break, let's go ahead and take a look at one of our amazing sponsors in G Fuel. G Fuel, of course, one of the great energy drinks out there. But let's go ahead and play this little clip to see what G Fuel is all about, and after that, we'll take a 2-minute break. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this announcement from our sponsor, G Fuel. You know G Fuel as the official drink of esports, and right now they're inviting you to take a trip down flavor memory lane with their new G Fuel bubblegum. It's their newest, mind-blowing concoction made with 0 sugar and packed with antioxidants and vitamins. Be transported back in time with this classic taste of childhood while getting the energy and focus you've come to expect from G Fuel products. Check out their sponsor quests on our event page for more info on how to get your hands on G Fuel's nostalgic take on a time-tested favorite. Now back to the games.
All right, welcome back, guys. Hope you grabbed your drinks and snacks. We're about to get started on this first game here. Gonna be on Death Aura.
Yeah, Death Aura from some ZVP action. Things can get very wild here. Can't wait to see how these two guys will perform. We're gonna have a best of 7 here on between Ragnarok and Zound. We will see how it will go. Really hyped for this.
Do you have actually let's before I ask you that, let's go ahead and introduce our players here. Want to go ahead and do the honors of introducing the first player here?
We're in the bottom right hand corner where there is the red Zerg spawning. Playing for Alpha X, just having beaten special 3-1. This is Ragnarok.
Alright. Here, spawning at the top left corner of the map is the blue Protoss player. Also from the team of Alpha X, it is Zound. Alright, so I was about to ask you if you have any predictions from this series between these two players.
It's so hard to predict this, but also like both players coming out of their own series, like playing like so good. But you know what? I'm gonna give this to Ragnarok, just due to the series being a best of 7 and Ragnarok just being overall the most experienced player. Also, like, I still feel like labor devs are so strong right now that anything can happen, but I'm still gonna give it to Ragnarok. What is your prediction?
You know what? I'm gonna have to go with you. I also agree. I think Ragnarok has the overall more experience. I think he's a overall slightly better player. So I'm also gonna probably predict a Ragnarok win, but Zound might have something to say about that, as he is not too shabby himself.
Yeah, of course. One of the players on the rise recently, first appearance on the GSL stage, already showing some great gains for him, and of course he's already starting to bring down some great names like Hurricane in the previous series. So I'm still looking forward to see how this guy will perform throughout the year. Of course, on the other hand, we have Ragnarok, a very accomplished player already, who's just been overshadowed in the past by players such as Stark and Rogue, of course, but he is not far in skill from those, and Sue, of course, as well.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we've seen many of games by Ragnarok facing against those high-tier players. By the way, in the chat, Neo TV saying make an account and follow, and Sushi also saying agreeing with him. Listen to the man, guys. We do have a lot of content, upcoming content here on this Trovo channel, so make sure to drop us a follow to get notified whenever we go live. But in the meantime, we do see that these two adepts getting how many kills? Just only one drone kill, so nicely done there by Ragnarok.
One drone and 2 Zerglings, I feel. Yeah. Oh, more Zerglings are falling as well, but in the end, Zound will retreat. So it is going to be a Stargate play, something Zound is rocking quite a lot lately. I feel like it's probably one of the best ways to play the matchup right now, since most Zerg players are starting to become very good at dealing with Glaive Deaths. Glaive Deaths falling a little bit out of fashion, of course, still being the most popular build, still being probably the strongest build, but Stargate not that far behind. So I'm happy to see some Stargate play. And it's going to be a Pulsar Beam activation from this Oracle, only getting 1 kill here in the Fair base. And it's going to be a Glaive Adept follow-up out of Zound. Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah, he's adding a fourth gateway, so transitioning into that four gateway adept timing. Now it really comes down to how well Ragnarok can split his army, make sure that he has enough army in one base to defend, as well as another base to defend the Shade and the Clone. But what I really like is that how Ragnarok is already connecting his creep tumor between his natural and the dirt base. That's really going to help when it comes to defending against these glaive adepts. You want to make sure that your queens can maneuver back and forth, as well as your roaches. So having those creep tumor connected, really, really important.
Yeah, and there's also this kind of philosophy behind the Glaive Adept's defense. Lair or no lair. It looks like Ragnarok goes for the lair, and I have to say I don't necessarily like it. He's not one of those players who try to get a lot of roaches. He just tries to defend with links. It is going to be quite rough for Zound to get much damage without the Warp Prism being here. But in the end, Link's getting a good surround actually. In the end, Zound will also be able to trade upwards pretty much all of the times. Finding damage though is a whole other thing. Of course, Ragnarok has the production to keep up with Link's. So in the end, Zound without a Warp Prism will back off, run back home, while Ragnarok starts his Hydra Den. Alright, Ragnarok chasing right now.
Yeah, he's actually got a small Baneling force here at the top right. While that Glaive Adept attack was happening, he got the Baneling as he was morphing those Banelings. And oh, nice force field.
Yeah, the Banelings weren't quite able to get much. Just a shield battery going down. Not even an Adept. And the second wave of Links will find an Adept standing in the wall in the natural. Ragnarok still trying to overwhelm Zound right now. 30 more Links incoming. That's a lot of Zerglings. Oh, great force fields once more. Pulsar Beam activation will keep these Banelings from getting any connections, of course. Glaive Adepts are still finding their way through. These Links are gonna get into the main. I was saying Glaive Adepts are still finding damage on top of all the Zerglings, still finding value in those trades. But oh, okay, Ragnarok will not be able to finish those Banelings in the main of Zound. And I feel like he has gone a little bit too overboard with the Zerglings.
Yeah, I think after the first failed Baneling attack, I feel like he should have retreated, because you know by that time he still had the Oracle to snipe the Banelings. He's still got the force fields. I don't agree with his call to go for a second round of Baneling attack. And now because he invested so much in it, he's behind in the work. Okay, he just caught back up on the workers, but his army supply is way down compared to Zound's.
Yeah, deck is like a little bit of a redeeming factor. Him having a Hydra Den up already will work wonders for him, but I would love him to drop down a Lurker. Okay, yeah, of course. Lurker Den just being dropped.
Yeah,
by Ragnarok.
Yeah, he's definitely going to need it because what he really has now is Lings and Hydralisk, which is really bad against Colossus. And what does Zound has? He has double Robo Colossus tech happening. He's researching Thermal Lance. And the question is, will Ragnarok have enough Lurkers to defend Zound's push when Zound does finally have, you know, maybe 2, 3, 4 Colossus to push out? He's definitely going to need those Lurkers to kind of keep the Protoss army in check.
Yeah, indeed. And to be honest, I really feel like Zound is actually doing all the great decisions right now. He's really playing around everything, getting charged, getting +2. This Colossus account is gonna raise a little bit higher, and then he's gonna probably have Disruptors, which are gonna trade quite evenly into Lurkers. So in the end, Ragnarok needs to find some damage, tries to find some damage here in the 4th base, but of course not gonna find much. Here in the main there is this Baneling drop, not gonna get much either. And do you think he forgot Baneling speed, or is not taking it intentionally?
You know what, he's had a kind of a pattern of forgetting Baneling speed or something.
Yeah. He really needs to work on that.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, I understand. Sometimes, like, Zerg players, they forget, like, make overlords at a certain time. Always, like, they always get supply block at a certain supply. I feel like it's kind of like that with Ragnarok and Bailing Speed.
Alright, the army of Zound is a very, very scary army right now. Getting on top of this 5th base, no way Ragnarok can defend that. Of course, lurkers are up. A revelation will make them visible to the army of Zound. Now they are trying to stop Zound from getting into the 4th base. These nexus, meanwhile, on the other side of the map, will probably not fall down. Shield barrier overcharge, really working wonders over there. Lurkers trying to get in position. This is a good spot for these lurkers to find themselves in the end. Zound not really finding a way in. Lurkers will find themselves caught unburrowed by a blink forward from Zound, who is actually maxed out right now. He's just looking to find a good spot to dive in. +2 about to kick in. Lurkers still dealing so much damage. Man, Lurkers are such a great unit.
Yeah, they're really good at sieging up and just keeping the Protoss, actually forcing the Protoss to either commit or not commit and to stand back. But Nexus does go down for Zound, so he's going to go ahead and try to take a snipe at this 4th base of Ragnarok. But he's already taking another base at the 7 o'clock position, so he can just retreat and re-siege up his lurkers. Oh, he actually let the adepts finish. Oh, I think that might have been a mistake.
Oh, that wasn't really the best thing possible for Zound. Of course, here in the main, a warping of Zealots will actually get some pretty good damage. Hydra's endlings will stop that from getting too much. Meanwhile, 7 drones have fallen for Ragnarok. Zound finding some damage, a little bit of a mistake as you were saying, but in the end he's gonna be having a lot of gas in the bank. He's gonna be adding double target and a fleet beacon. I still feel like Zound is pretty much in full control of the match right now.
Yeah, but he needs a quick answer right now against the lurkers, because these Colossus Stalker Ball not gonna really do too well against this lurker force. So he needs something which looks like he is transitioning into air, like you said. He's adding that fleet beacon. He's gonna have to need some type of way to deal with these lurkers, either as carriers or Tempest, something.
And you know what is a good way to deal with lurkers? Snipe the lurker then.
That is a nice answer. But man, he still has, let's see, how many lurkers does he has? 17 lurkers. Jesus.
That's probably 70 many. Nobody needs these many lurkers, especially against the Stargate transition. Zound still finding so much damage with run-bys and still having such a great gas bank. Right now, these Hydras not really taking a great fight into Colossi. Zound playing such a great game. Finally, lurkers finding some good spots to walk into, but without tunneling close. Adaptive talents. Without adaptive talents, these lurkers take way too long of a time to set up in position. So Zound never finds himself really struggling in positioning. Zound, well, Ragnarok really needs adaptive talents. Yeah, he starts it right now.
Yeah, but look at this. Zound already going 4 Stargate carriers. I mean, adaptive talent's good, but if the lurkers can't attack air, I mean, how useful is that, right?
Yeah, of course. Without adaptive talents, these are still gonna take so much time, as you can see. Not getting too much damage. They need to find themselves in a better position. Of course, these carriers are still posing a big threat. These are just trying to fight down the interceptors, killing almost all of them. Of course, the fight will go in favor of Ragnarok for the time being, by Zound is trying to actually surround these lurkers, getting on them from multiple sides. And the fight will go in favor of Zound. Finally, in the end, lurkers will be moved by Ragnarok, but it's not gonna be enough. 2 Vipers finding themselves astray here in the middle of the map will be killed by photon cannons. GG gets called. And in a little bit of a sloppy fight, Zound will get the first game of the series.
Yeah, and that's despite Ragnarok having 526 APM. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's a lot of APM. But yeah, well done there. Well defended by Zound. First against the Bailing attack, and then after that, the Hydra's Lurker attack. He bought enough time to get those carriers out, and it was just enough to be able to clean the Lurkers up.
We're going to Isenchrome for the second map of the day. Well, not of the day, of the series, of course. These are ready to go.
All right.
And, well, we're going on a little bit of a more macro-oriented map, being Isenchrome, such a big map, while Death Aura. We had a long macro game on Death Aura, but we had it because Zound played it slow and steady, and Ragnarok wasn't able to find the damage he needed to even up the disadvantage he found himself in. We will see how it will work out here. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner as the Blue Zerg. Currently struggling. 1 point behind in this best of 7 series. It is Ragnarok.
And spawning here at the top right with an impressive Game 1 victory. Can he repeat it? He's from also Team Alpha X. It is Zound.
No early scout from Zound. Not gonna be a hatch block for the Protoss player.
Yeah, we've seen actually a couple of Protoss players sending out really fast pros just to deny the hatchery. But I think because this map is pretty far in terms of distance between one side and the other, you had to probably send your probe a little bit extra, so might as well just send it late and not care about blocking the hatchery, I suppose.
Yeah, it is probably a good call. Like, I don't think you can get in there in time if you do a pylon scout. I think you have to send like the first probe through, which is yeah, not that great.
A little bit of a worker skirmish here. You could say they're either fighting or kissing. Up to you. You could debate it.
Or
both. Or both. So it'll be interesting to see what Zound goes for. Does he go for the same Stargate opening into the Clave of Depth timing? Because that last game, it worked out pretty well for him, right? So...
yeah,
oh, go ahead.
it did work out in his favor. I feel like, yeah, I was feeling like on this map you kind of have to do stuff a little bit quicker. So I was looking for a little bit of an earlier Tala Council, which is exactly what Zound will give us in this game. It is still going to be Glaives. I really doubt it's going to be Doctrine. But having an earlier Tala Council means he will have a Warp Prism with this, and means basically everything will be a little bit quicker, a little bit stronger, and you will try to hit at a little bit of a quicker timing to allow himself to walk through the map and still be in a good position, even though this map is so huge.
Yeah, you make a good point. The map is so huge that it's going to take a while for that second Overlord to reach the main base of Zound. So Zound can get away with skipping the Stargate, because that Overlord is not going to scout his structures anytime soon. By the time he does get there, like the Warp Prism probably across the map, flying across the map and warping in.
Yeah, it is all about just trying to find the crispiest possible time. It's gonna be the 4 gates variation of this build, the most standard one, the one says
oh Mo! The wall is not fully tight. Some links does slip through.
So I think all of the links will slip through in just a little while because there is not enough structures up for Zound. Oh my, this is a disaster. No glaive attack timing can help against that. And Ragnarok will find a very interesting game 2 victory.
Yeah, I mean, usually you wanna, you wanna tone down, get thinner, but at that, situation, it's like the one time where I feel like I wish the stalker was fatter, so it doesn't let the links go through. But yeah, that was really unfortunate. Just positioning is so important for Protosses to make sure that nothing slips by. And yeah, the game is just over that quickly, just with a bad positioning.
That's very unlucky. That's not something that I like to see happen in these games. Of course, we were looking like very interested to see how Zound would have performed with that glaive attack timing, but then a bunch of Zerglings just slip past that.
Yeah, he slipped up past that stalker, and
that
yeah, and I feel like if Zound was able to hold on to that attack, was not able to allow the Zergling to slip by, like that glaive attack would have been really, really good because Ragnarok committed to a lot of links, and you know what counter links? Adepts, especially glaive adepts. So he could have held, went across the map, warped in those adepts, and I think it would have worked out really nicely for him.
Yeah, we had a very fast game number 2, but we will see how it will impact this series overall. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner as the blue Protoss player suffering a big momentum swing. Looking for Alpha X, this is Zound.
And spawning here at the top left, he's the red Zerg player hailing from Korea. From Team Alpha X, it is Ragnarok. As you can see, nothing cheeky here from both players. But we are on the map of Submarine, which is, again, a pretty close map. So I feel like either of these players who goes for the more aggressive build has kind of an upper hand. Now, on Ragnarok's side, that could mean maybe a Baneling Bust or maybe a Roach push, a fast Roach Ravager push, along with maybe some Speedlings.
The same build he did against Special with that fast Roach Ravager Ling timing attack.
Yeah,
it probably would work here against Zound as well. Which is the reason I like Robo openers on Submarine more than anything else. But we will see.
Yeah, now on the other hand, Zound could also open up the fast Robo and go for maybe a Mass Sentry, a Mortal Push, right? So both players has options.
That's the beauty of StarCraft, right? Options. Like, every single decision matters so much. It's also the reason, like, well, I like card games a lot, and at times when I see build orders, I really think about card games. So here we have that robotics facility opener we were talking about, and that opens him to a whole new set of possibilities, both defensively and offensively. We will see indeed how he will decide to approach this very interesting map.
Yeah, no Twilight Council yet, so this really says to me that it's probably gonna be the same Mass Sentry or Mortal Push that I was talking about earlier.
It is very much a possibility. Ragnarok not really showing his end yet, not really diving into any kind of tech, not even dropping the Roach Warren. He's just droning it out for now. Gonna start off droning his fur base quickly as well. And there is a Robo Bay coming from Zound with a Warp Prism incoming. Robo Bay, that's an early Robo Bay.
Wait, do you think this is going to be the fast... Yeah, Disruptor drops.
I want to think it's that, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it might be, because... I mean, I was thinking maybe Colossus, but he doesn't have his dirt or fourth gas yet. So this might be, yeah, the Disruptors drop.
I don't know. I think it's just gonna go through the map with gateway units, and probably it's gonna start the Disruptor. So actually, maybe you're right. He's gonna be sending his Warp Prism back home and then use the Disruptor to drop Ragnarok.
Yeah, I mean, he always has the option to recall, right? So just recall his Warp Prism right when the Disruptor pops out, and then you could go ahead and commence with the Disruptor drop. But in the meantime, he's gonna go ahead and try to get some damage done with these Stalkers. He's forcing Ragnarok to at least produce some units. He might be able to snipe off these Creep Tumors, which will be really nice.
I'm not even sure if it's like Ragnarok feels forced to produce units or it wants to produce units, because 7 Roaches are incoming right now. Roaches are not that great against Disruptors, but with speed done, even going through the map with a Disruptor, it's not like the biggest of commitments. This map is so short that Zound can fly back home with his Warp Prism very quickly. Okay, the wall is not open this time. And yeah, Zound, Warp Prism speed is about to finish, and here it goes zooming through. 2 Disruptors are into this Warp Prism, ready to get damage. But Ragnar surely will not sit idle, waiting for his drones to explode.
Oh man,
oh my
god.
Good cancel over here by Ragnarok. In the end, these Disruptors will still get themselves 6 kills. But yeah, Ragnarok still has map control, even though this Warp Prism is a very big thorn in the side of the third player. We will see if it will get any more damage. Here it comes again. Another double Disruption Nova will go down, getting 2 drones killed. In fact, Purification Novas do not one-shot Queens, so don't use it on those.
Oh man, you know what? I love this. Zound not even electing to go for a third base. He's just going to go across the map with his Colossus, with those 2 Disruptors. And go ahead and make a nice, great, big timing attack here.
Yeah, his army is very strong. Guardian Shield gets popped over here to help against the Ravages. Of course, the Biles cannot go down if Disruption Novas go down first. The Biles will try to get on top of the Disruptors. This is a great surround by Ragnarok, but the army of Zound is just a little bit too strong. His Lings are trying to get on top of the Disruptors. Biles rain down on top of the Stalkers. In the end, Ragnarok being able to reinforce his position thanks to Defender's advantage. These Zealots do not have charge available. Another Disruption Nova will stop 2 Ravagers from ever existing, and this 1 Colossus is doing so much work. Crazy Disruption Nova will get us so many Corruptors. Colossus, 19 kills on that. GG gets cold, and Zound will get game number 3. Crazy good game by the Protoss player. I'm super impressed by his performance over here. Always ahead, always on top of his build order, always on top of his micro in every single fight. Insane game by Zound. It was looking like one of the best.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, I really love that build order. I want to copy it actually. That's a really nice, like sleek. Now, granted, it only works on I think maps that are a lot shorter in distance, so that you can go across the map relatively soon. But I really love that build that Zound just pulled off.
It was like insanely good from start to finish. Never felt unsafe. Always in a good position. Even if Ragnarok was making a ton of units, never felt too much behind in economy. It was just very good.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, the players are ready. Let's get into the fourth game of this series. Zound, 2 games away from victory. Ragnarok really needs to swing momentum back in his favor, just like he did in game number 2. But game number 2 was hardly a game, really. It was over due to a mistake. And the 2 real games have been won by Zound. Zound looking way stronger than I was expecting him to show up here. And talking exactly about him here in the bottom left-hand corner, spawning as the blue Protoss player playing for Alpha X, just took back the advantage in his best of 7 series. It is Zound.
And spawning here at the top right, we have the red Zerg player from Korea representing Team Alpha X. It is Ragnarok. Now guys, while this game is underway, just quickly want to remind you that there is a Matcherino page for this event. If you go ahead and head into the Matcherino URL link, which should be around the bottom, around the info area, you can see a Matcherino link, and then enter the code AXSS5, and that will add in 50 cents for free to the overall prize pool. Help out the players, kind of reward them for putting in the time to give you guys these amazing show matches. And yeah, just head on over there, and you can just log in with a Twitch account, with a Google account, with a Blizzard account. Many different ways to log in and contribute. All right. So relatively standard opening by both players.
Yeah, we don't ever dream. It's probably the safest map for this matchup at the moment, because both players can get a quick fur base and defend it very easily. There's no real way to commit into anything too aggressive on Everdream. So yeah, every single game I've seen between those 2 races in this matchup, of course, here on Everdream has gone the distance. So I'm gonna call it. I feel like this is gonna be a long macro game.
Or because I think the maps or the base between the natural and the dirt is pretty long, it might be also possible that Zound goes for the kind of the glaive adept timing, right? Because
yeah, it is totally possible. Of course, Everdream is a great map for that.
Yeah, for sure. And we do see the Twilight Council already going down, along with the robotics.
It's always that.
Yeah, I guess if you're a Zerg and you don't scout anything, you're not able to scout. Just assume it's Glaive of Death, right? Just
probably like 85% of the times you're gonna be right, especially on Everdream. I love this wall of by Zound, by the way. Like, this is very minor. Like, nobody will ever care about this, but I really like it. It's very well positioned. Like, the cybernetic score is it's almost not exposed.
Yeah, I immediately love it because the Zerglings won't be able to slip through like it did in game 2.
Yeah, that's the main reason. Like, that's the essential.
Oh, Ragnarok actually researched Overlord speed. We'll be able to scout this.
Yeah, that's I mean, that's good. It's always good to be able to scout this, of course. It's not like you're expecting much else, but this Roach Warren is going to be quite earlier than I've seen in many other scenarios. I'm not too sure if it's going to be enough earlier that these adepts will not pose a problem at all. Of course, links are gonna be started. That's gonna be the most important thing. We will see.
Yep, the glaive upgrade is just about to be done. Yep, it just finished. Gonna go ahead and warp in 4 additional adepts, and this attack will commence. And immediately you see Ragnarok pulling pretty much all his drones to the natural.
That's already a good move from the Zerg player, waiting for these adepts to shade in the wrong spot. There's not many workers out for Ragnarok, so he's not really looking too afraid to clump them in the natural. Roaches are coming out as well. Meanwhile, Ragnarok will go for a second confirmation scouting. We'll see the robotics bait. Ragnarok very much on top of his scouting here. The adepts looking to find a way to commit. They will commit on top of the ramp. Lynx find themselves on the wrong side of that ramp as well. Roaches will try to dive on top of them, but it looks like these adepts will start to find some damage. Another shade goes past here, will be cancelled to fight here in the main. A recall gets issued by Zound, who will save a bunch of his own adepts after killing 8 drones.
And now, this time around, he's following up with a Disruptor War Prism play as well, repeating kind of similar, a little bit variation compared to last game, but nonetheless will rely on these disruptors. In the meantime, he's going to go ahead and send his adept across the map, trying to get some additional economic damage done. But this time around, Ragnarok is going to have enough units, presumably, to defend against this. But actually, you know what? As I say this, he hasn't really produced any more units. He's actually reproduced drones,
which is kind of good. Like, he acknowledged he's probably gonna lose some more, so he's starting producing some more. But what I really want to stress out right now is, like, Zound is really feeling his disruptor play today. Like, he's making so many disruptors. Adepts will complete the shade to try and fight down some drones. Actually, 5 of them are gonna fall. Not just 4. 4 of them are going to fall down. So in the end, Ragnarok will be kept a little bit in check with his economy. Right now, with a Spire incoming, this Burst Prism play will become a little bit weaker once the Spire finishes. But Zound, with Blink incoming, is looking to have a very balanced army composition.
and now with the Spire, he's also going to be able to counter the Colossus with those Corruptors, those Corruptors. If he wants to snipe the War Prism, though, you probably make Mutalisk, and then he can actually go across the map and harass with those Mutalisks. This is I would say, okay map, but not the greatest, I don't think, for air. I mean, there's certainly that there's airspace between the natural and the main base, as well as the natural and the dirt base. But if you're gonna scoot up onto the top side, you're gonna have to make sure that you're able to get through or actually back out, as there's not a lot of dead airspace to begin with there. All right.
In the end, once he has Blink, he can feel pretty good about this. Good catch by Ragnarok, moving his drones away from the mineral line in the fur base before anything can happen. So 12 meters are incoming. It is going to be, as you were saying, an attempt to snipe down the Warp Prism and deal some damage to the economy of Zound. But with Lynx moving out and Roaches being made 4 Spine Crawlers here in front of the natural as well. Ragnarok, like, he wants to get map control while playing very defensively. That's a very weird way of playing.
Oh, you know what? I think he's just really committed to Mutalisk, and he knows that the only way that Zound can punish is go for a counterattack. And so right now he's going to go ahead and throw down those Spine Crawlers just as a precautionary in case that Zound goes for a counterattack.
I do have to agree with you. I feel like it is a good play from him to committing to Mutas, as you were saying, but he has to defend over here at the 4th base location. These base will probably not survive that long. But meanwhile, the wall is not up. Lanes get past again for Ragnarok, but this is not looking that sharp. More Stalkers are gonna be worked in to fight these Mutas. Last one air attack is not done yet, and Blink is done instead. So those Mutas are not finding their way past the Stalkers. Of course, with that many Spine Crawlers here in the natural, Zound will not have an easy way to get past the defenses of the Zerg player. Disruptors are still alive, but the Mutas are flying back home to deal with the main army of Zound. This is looking good for Ragnarok despite... Oh, the Wood Prison goes down!
That means no more reinforcements. The reinforcement has to travel across the map, but before then he's going to snipe at all those sentries.
Yeah, Ragnarok playing a great game, of course. His supply may not look that great. He's behind in workers, he's behind in army. But there's so many mutas and so many spine crawlers. Getting past those is not gonna be an easy task. Of course, the two disruptors are gonna help, but right now Ragnarok is looking to find some reinforcements to snipe down. 5 more mutas are incoming. Ragnarok going past the army of Zound again, going through the map to try and deal set damage. The 780 score is exposed. He will go down in a jiffy. But Zound is committing over here on the other side of the map. Mutas are a great tool to actually base trade, but the army of Zound is so strong right now. I'm not super sure about that anymore. Of course, the shield batteries are trying to do all they can to stop these mutas from getting too much damage. But Zound on the other side of the map really making short work of those spine crawlers, and drones are gonna find themselves barbecue between stalkers and Colossi. The third base of Ragnarok will fall down. Mutas trying to do their best. 27 probes will fall down. Meanwhile, this third nexus of Zound is exposed to links, will find itself very much damage, and Ragnarok already starting to hide some drones through the map because he knows he cannot deal with the main army of Zound. I really doubt anything can deal with Zound right now. He has recall available once he snipes his natural. He snipes the Spire. There's really little reason for him not to recall out his army and deal with the mutas. Meanwhile, the mutas are not really finding a way through. They try to probably get on top of the probes to stop Zound from making random bindings through the map. But they will find themselves very close to the army of Zound, which is actually right now dealing with the lair. Stalkers trying to keep this muta count as low as possible. The Stalkers with Blink will indeed be able to fight down those mutas, and Ragnarok will call the GG. Zound will be at match point.
Yeah, I gotta say, well defended there by Zound. We know how deadly and snowbally that Mutalisk can get. Like, once the Mutalisk gets those initial damage done, it could really snowball real quick. And Zound was able to defend the home while attacking at the same time. Now, I think Ragnarok had the idea of, okay, I'm gonna invest all my resources into Mutalisk, and seeing that Zound has Colossus, the Lings aren't the best against Colossus army, so he's gonna invest into a lot of spine crawlers. But Zound just has so much on the ground that he was able to just push through all those spine crawlers. Was able to fortify his main and natural against those Mutalisks, and just a really great win there by Zound.
Yeah, very solid game decisioning from Zound, choosing when to commit, where to commit, and what units he wanted to have with his main army. Of course, in the end, being 3-1 right now is not the end of the world for Ragnarok. It is a very, very tough position to find himself in, though. Zound needs to win 1, Ragnarok needs to win 3 in a row, and I have to say this, Zound looking on fire today. His Purification Novas with his disruptors have been perfect all day long. Yes, played an incredible, insane series against Hurricane, and right now he's finding himself 3-1 against Ragnarok. And once again, just as I did before the start of the previous game, the only game that Ragnarok won was due to a walling mistake from Zound, letting those links in. Because otherwise, we would have probably witnessed a 4-0 victory for Zound, because he was looking strong in that game as well.
Yeah, indeed, because, I mean, Ragnarok was all links at that point, and Zound was going for that 4-gate Glaive of Death build. So I would assume that if Zound did not blunder that wall off, I think he could have definitely won the series already at 4-0. But He still has a chance here to close out the series. Can he do it? Let's go ahead and introduce our players.
And the first one we're gonna be introducing is the Blue Protoss, who's spawning in the top right-hand corner of Eternal Empire, currently at match point in this best of 7 series against his opponent is Zound.
And spawning here at the bottom left corner of the map, he's the red Zerg player. He's got an uphill mountain to climb. Can he do it? It is Ragnarok.
So in Eternal Empire, I'm expecting some kind of Stargate play from Zound. I will be very surprised if this is not a Stargate. And out of Ragnarok, I really don't know. What would you do if you were Ragnarok right now? You need to win 3 in a row. You find yourself on Eternal Empire. You chose Eternal Empire, which is the most macro map ever since Dreamcatcher. And you just... everything you do doesn't work this far against Zound. What do you do here?
No, we were talking about how strong lurker play is in ZBT earlier on. I would love to see Ragnarok go for a lurker play against Zound. We've seen Zound go for kind of a heavy ground army the past few games. So I think if Ragnarok can hold on till lurker tech, he might be able to hold on and then also eventually get ahead when it comes to the engagement. Now on the other side with Zound, the past few games disruptors has been so key to him getting the edge and winning the game. I would not be surprised if he went for a disruptor once again.
And yeah, talking about those kind of counters, I really feel like one way to get past this kind of play, I don't know if you remember that one game we saw, I think it was out of Ragnarok especially, in which we've seen like a lot of virtues in the early game on team bases and then a transition into Swarmos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see something like that, because Zound is really committing to some greedy heavy tech plays aside from the Glaive Adept's timing. So getting some Nidus Wormos while having a ton of roaches to gain map control, it's gonna work out always, since Zound has gone for Stargate only once and he didn't commit on that, and now we're on Eternal Empire and he didn't go for Stargate again. He went for Glaive Adepts again on Eternal Empire, which is arguably the best Stargate map that ever existed.
All right, I don't think Ragnarok has a vision of this. He has scouted the Robo, so he knows that at least Robo tech is out, but he doesn't know exactly if it's for Glaive Adepts. But I mean, with some additional Adept warps in, I think he can have a feel of what's to come. And looks like he's throwing down his Roach Warren. He's making additional Lings here, 18 on the production tab, as well as he's actually adding a Spine Crawler here at the dirt as well.
Yeah, Spore Crawlers for safety as well, in case this is going to be some kind of Dark Shrine play, which is not in this case. And walling off the ramp, of course, as you can see, already working out a lot in his favor. The Adepts will not commit with the Shade. They are actually trying to commit on top of the Roach Warren. Queens are in position to stop them from getting the kill. 5 more roaches are incoming, and this is a lot of lost time for Zound, who's actually right now more warping in for Stalkers to try and snipe down the Roach Warren. Oh, Transfusion gets used on top of that. Meanwhile, Ragnarok will try to dive on top of both the Stalkers and the Adept. Oh, Roach Warren goes down. That is some nice damage from Zound, really.
Yeah, I think a lot of players would have warped in additional depths, but Zound smartly warped in 4 Stalkers, not only to take out the Overlord, but outrange the Zerg to snipe out that Roach Warren. And he was able to just barely snipe it.
He's gonna get a Crypt Tumor killed as well, almost gets a Queen, but of course the real damage is still in the Adepts and still waiting for the right moment to shade in and get a ton of kills. Zound still trying to do its best with his Stalkers. For Stalkers and Warp Prism is always something that most players underestimate. It's a very powerful way to get some harassment going while trying to get some scouting as well. But Zound not getting a third base, it's already scaring me quite a bit.
Yeah, and I think Ragnarok has an Overlord sees this, as well as a Ling Scouter.
Are you auto-testing?
Okay, finally we see a third being dropped.
Yeah, but it's quite late, right? So
Yeah.
I would presume that Zound might go for a Blink follow-up attack to force Ragnarok to start making units instead of drawing up, while his dirt base is still, his dirt nexus is still being built.
Ragnarok is still one of those players who kind of play it safe from this spot onwards. He will always like switch between one real big wave of drones and one big wave of units. He's gonna be making a ton of units right now to keep up with the production of Zound right now. We're starting to make some Immortals, and some other key units are soon to be popping out of the key production structures of Zound. I'm looking forward to see a Templar Archives over here for some Storm action, or maybe some Archons as well. But we will see. Meanwhile, a lot of Roaches and Lings are going through the map for Ragnarok. His army supply is actually double the one of Zound. Of course, the units don't even compare to Immortals, will still deal so much damage to many Roaches that it doesn't really even make it close. And +1 ground weapons is still gonna be very important. Force fields are gonna be even more important to lock a lot of those units out. Now that Blink is down, of course, Ragnarok will be struggling to find a good engagement.
Oh, he's got to be careful. He doesn't want to get caught out in the middle, as there are Lings out in the field. They try to get this around. Oh, there's actually Lings coming through the natural. Try to attempt to get this around, but he thinks better of it. Will back out.
The force fields were crazy good for Zound, who's now actually chasing down the Ravagers. Here comes the turnaround from Ragnarok, trying to bite down those Immortals. Of course, the Stalkers will blink backwards into safety, but the army of Ragnarok is growing weaker by the second. Another blink forward on top of these Ravager. The Piles will still deal so much damage. In the end, Ragnarok will be forced to retreat. But the real issue right now is that Zound has a Warp Prism already warping in units on Ragnarok's side of the map. He's waiting for the rest of the army to catch up. And Ragnarok finding himself right now even on army supply, but these are so many Blink Stalkers that can get on top of these Ravagers very quickly once the Corrosive Pulse be used. Here comes the dodge from Zound. Immortal is still a little bit too bruised. Blink forward not used yet, still blinking backwards to keep his units alive. Defender's advantage is kicking in favor of Ragnarok. With these piles getting so much damage, here comes the blink forward on top of the Ravagers. The Stalkers are dealing so much damage with +1 ground weapons being in favor of Zound. It's still gonna be hard for him to close it out. Of course, Defender's advantage is doing wonders right here, but is it doing enough? I don't know. Stalkers still getting so much damage. Queens falling down left and right. Only 5 Ravagers left standing. Another blink forward will get another Ravager killed. His Queens cannot get near that Warp Prism. More Stalkers being warped in, and the Warp Prism being this close means only one thing. Defender's advantage is now a thing. No more. This base is gonna go down. 4 Ravagers are getting into position to pile down the Warp Prism, and that's the moment Zound backs off, lifts up his Stalkers to keep them from dying and let them live to fight another day. But the fight is not yet over. This base will not be cancelled. It will be killed. 4 Ravagers still alive. 3 more being moved. Only 1 will be cancelled. Another blink forward, trying to get more Ravagers. The Immortal will go down. The Ravagers are the key to this defense. Ragnarok still keeping up with his units, with his army supply, but Zound relentlessly going even further and forward, going on top of these overloads right now to try and supply block Ragnarok. Well, good luck, my friend. 186 maximum supply. Not a thing 5 overloads can't stop. Over here, Ragnarok pinned in his own fur base. But for now, Zound will probably be content with what he did.
Yeah, I mean, the Zound just continuously dwindling the army supply of Ragnarok with these nice Blink Stalker play, and all he has to do is just sit back, right? He killed the 4th base. The 4th is finally coming down here on the 6 o'clock position, but that's not gonna go up anytime soon. And Ragnarok trying to catch these Blink Stalkers, but oh man, these Adepts gonna shade into the natural, get some additional drone kills, and it's looking worse and worse for our red Zerg.
So total lack of tech is the main problem of Ragnarok right now. Losing that 4th twice, actually 3 times, was bad already. But right now, Zound will be adding +2 ground weapons, will be adding up a robotics bay, and we all seen how strong he's been today with Disruptors. Man, I will never want to face this Disruptor. The Colossus in game number 3 also getting 19 kills, on game number 1, sorry, 19 kills on the Fora. Also his Colossi are doing great. These Stalkers just refuse to die altogether. Zound, all he needs right now, as you were saying, is just a little bit of time.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get over eager. Don't want to overextend and lose his advantage right now, right? He's although the supply says otherwise, the workers and the bases says that as the game goes on, Zound will probably get catch back up in the overall supply and pull ahead. But till then, he definitely wants to keep the Zerg busy, which he is doing right now. Getting some additional warps in at the dirt base as well as the main base, keeping up the harass.
The Warp Prism goes down though to a very well placed Ravager Corrosive Piles. Of course, many more workers are falling left and right, while Zound is ever forcing units out of Ragnarok. That's the most important thing, is forcing units that will not fight well against the later units that Zound will be able to do in just a little while. Extended Thermal Lance halfway through. I think this is the second Colossus being produced out here out of Zound. As you were saying, the supply for the Protoss player is slowly catching up. Right now he's also ahead in workers.
Yeah, I mean, that's never a good thing when you're the Zerg player, when your opponent is Terran or Protoss and has more workers than you, or at least even workers on you. But yeah, Thermal Lance is just finished. His Dirt Colossus is about to pop out. I'll like to see him move out right now, especially since his +2 attack weapons is about to be done. So it's a really nice kind of timing sync for Zound to make a push.
Yeah, Ragnarok doesn't really have much time to get his higher tech. He drops down an infestation pit right now, but he needs to survive with this Roach Ravager Lingbane army, which is, yeah, someone would call it la creme de la creme of Protoss, of Zerg armies, but what do you do against 3 Colossi and a bunch of Sentries force fields? Of course, there are so many Ravagers that I still feel like Zound cannot really bring up a fight to Ragnarok right now, but it is very close. A Baneling run by will get a little bit of damage here in the top side for Ragnarok, but Zound is looking to find a spot in which to fight, and no better spot than a choke point here next to the 5th base of Ragnarok. This base is very exposed, will find itself killed by Zound's incredibly strong Stalker Colossi army. Here comes the main engagement. These Ravagers need to pile down the force field, but the Stalkers are blinking on top of one on the side. And GG gets called just like that. Ragnarok says, I'm out of there. And Zound will win the finals 4-1, dropping 2 maps in the whole event. I don't know what to say about this player.
Yeah, he's been playing on fire, and he's just so good. His disruptor micro, as well as his force fields in this last game. Oh man, just amazing plays by Zound, and well deserved win.
Absolutely. Like playing perfectly left and right, leaving my voice in disarray in a few games, but it was so great casting those games. I had so much fun, so many play-by-play actions that I live for this. I love doing this.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the games as well as we did. And also remember, make sure to drop us a follow before you leave. We're gonna have many more content coming to you on this channel, so definitely wanna keep up to date. So yeah, that will pretty much wrap it. Once again, congratulations to Zound for his victory. We hope to see you guys next time. Any last words, Akon, before we wrap this up?
I can't wait to cast with you some more events. We're gonna have many more events coming here. Appreciate you making an account, dropping a follow, and once again, I want to say my congratulations to Zound again, because like that was so great for him. But of course, congratulations to Ragnarok as well. Being able to beat Special 3-1, not an easy task. And then here, getting in the finals, getting second place, whoopee to everybody. And thank you guys for being with us today.
All right. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. And until next time, be safe and StarCraft hardcore.